Time now for Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WOCO Stereo FM.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine.
Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Scatcherd, and Anderson, the NW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and with Piggly Wiggly, also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the O'Connell Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, O'Connell Falls.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your medication? Stop in at O'Connell Pharmacy and see our pharmacist, Ron or Poom, about our cost minimization program. We can save you some money. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Hello and welcome to Joanne Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name's Nolan Knight. Stay tuned for the pregame show. You're listening to 107.1 WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Just like a great coach, State Farm agents Margie Dolan, Oconto, and Paul Huberty and Lena can help you develop a game plan for your insurance needs. Whether it's car, home, life, health, or business, agents Margie Dolan and Paul Huberty can help you find the affordable coverage you need. When your life and goals change, agents Margie Dolan and Paul Huberty will be there to help you adjust your insurance game plan with a free family insurance checkup. So, for all your insurance needs, call on a winner. State Farm agents Margie Dolan at 834-5151 and Paul Huberty at 829-5555.
Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Seconds. Hello and welcome to Joanne Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, about to get underway with the second game of this home and home doubleheader. The Green Bay Bullfrogs knocked off the Dock Spiders in Game 1 in Fond du Lac, 6-5, and it came off of a 2 RBI triple from newcomer Tanner Poole. My name is Nolan Knight here. Welcome to the pregame show. The Bullfrogs set to host, of course, the Dock Spiders in Game 2. The Bullfrogs come into the contest 8-12 on the year. The Dock Spiders fall to 8-13 after today's game. I'm joined today by catcher for the Green Bay Bullfrogs, Zach Plunkett. Zach, welcome to the show.
To be here.
So Plunkett is off on the day, of course, caught earlier today for the Bullfrogs, so he gets the afternoon off per se. From Plunkett, the team comes in, a nice win today. What got it done?
We had a really good start from our guy, Andy Archer. Came out, threw a lot of strikes, which was always good. And then our bats really picked up today. We saw, I think, over 10 hits, which is kind of abnormal for what we've been doing this season. It was good to see, though, coming from behind, though. We had the lead, lost the lead, and then we regained the lead in the late innings. Definitely got good to get the first win today.
The Bullfrogs, of course, win that contest 7-6 over the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders and host them here on Game 2 in front of a scattered crowd, per se. It's Halloween night here at Joanne Stadium, so there's some kids running around with their Halloween costumes on. Some Dock Spider fans here on the left field side, as, of course, the trip to Fond du Lac just about an hour and a half up the road. Zach, have you ever been a part of a home and home doubleheader?
I have not, and I'm glad that we don't do this often because it's been quite a long day.
Of course, approaching 7:15, that'll win the first pitch will be thrown today. Let's get you the lineups for both teams. For your group, for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, it'll be A.J. Lewis hitting first, playing second. Batting second and playing left field, Colton Neal. Batting third and the designated hitter for the Dock Spiders, Brandon Wolf. Batting cleanup and playing first base will be Luke Jerry. Batting fifth and playing right field, Eric Gillenbach. Batting sixth and playing center field, Joe Bro. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Chris Cornelius. Batting eighth and behind the plate at catcher, Jason Santana. And in the 9-hole playing third base will be Alex Ronnebaum. First pitch about underway here in Green Bay. Your lineup for the Green Bay Bullfrogs. Mikey Filia, the left fielder, will be batting first. Batting second, playing shortstop, Aaron Pleschner. Batting third and playing center field, Troy Johnston. Batting fourth and the designated hitter, Tanner Poole. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Alex Pinner. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Zach Rapinski. Batting seventh and the third baseman, Ben Hart. Batting eighth and behind the plate at catcher, Zach Shoemaker. And in the 9-hole playing second base, Grant Frazier. That's your lineup for the Green Bay Bullfrogs. We're going to step aside for the national anthem. Stay tuned for Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball.
A brew pub pizza designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made. Every brew pub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half-pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brew pub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brew pub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brew Pub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brew pub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
Tired of running to the bank for every little check? You can save a trip to the bank with the convenience of mobile check deposit from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. Snapping a picture with our app is as safe as depositing checks at one of our 7 locations. No more rushing to the bank before closing to make those important deposits. Visit snbt.com to enroll for mobile check deposit today. The Stevenson National Bank and Trust, 101 Bray Lake Way in O'Connell. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
American Inn Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Hi folks, this is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in O'Connell Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in O'Connell Falls.
Still waiting.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960, specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts.
Just like a great coach, State Farm agents Margie Dolan, Oconto, and Paul Huberty and Lena can help you develop a game plan for your insurance needs. Whether it's car, home, life, health, or business, agents Margie Dolan and Paul Huberty can help you find the affordable coverage you need. When your life and goals change, agents Margie Dolan and Paul Huberty will be there to help you adjust your insurance game plan with a free family insurance checkup. So, for all your insurance needs, call on a winner. State Farm agents Margie Dahl at 834-5151 and Paul Huberty at 829-5555.
Hello and welcome to Joanne Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, joined by Zach Plunkett here today. Due up for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders will be that would be the lineup for the Bullfrogs. It'll be A.J. Lewis due up for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, the second baseman. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Frogs, as mentioned. You can follow along on Twitter at GB Bullfrogs. A.J. Lewis swings at the first pitch he sees. Line drive deep into center field. It's off the warning track and off the wall. A.J. Lewis will have a stand-up double to start off the game. Wow. Starting pitcher tonight for the Bullfrogs, of course, is Noah Miller, the University of Arkansas product. Plunkett, of course, that's your teammate there.
That's not ideal. It's not the way you want to start the game off.
A.J. Lewis now standing at second base, and Colton Neal, the left fielder, will dig in. Left-handed hitter, a solid game earlier today for the Dock Spiders. He stands in. Pitch from Miller is outside. He showed a bunt but pulled it away. 1-0. Neal stands back in. Number 1 on his back. Stocky guy. The 1-0 delivery swung on and missed. 1-1. Neal out coming into the game, batting .303 for the Dock Spiders. Out of Cordova, Tennessee. Miller checks Lewis at second, and time is called by Neal. He'll step out. Scattered crowds here in Green Bay. Of course, as you can imagine, it's a Tuesday afternoon here. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful night for baseball. The wind going from left to right. The 1-1 offering inside for a ball. 2-1 count here. No outs on the board. Neal stands in. No checks the runner at second and comes home with the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. 2-2. So you and Noah, of course, teammates up in Arkansas. Were you guys relatively close up at school, or you guys kind of gotten closer as you've been together this summer?
We got pretty close the second semester at Arkansas. Of course, both of us are in the same situation, not being able to play on this past year in the spring. So we spent a lot of time together when the team would go on the road and things like that. But it's been awesome getting to know him even better as, you know, the only two Razorbacks up here in Green Bay this summer.
2-2 pitch runs high, 3-2 count now. Neal stands in. Owen checks the runner at second, comes home. Payoff pitch outside, ball 4. Runners at first and second now to start the game for the Bullfrogs, of course, coming off of a victory in Fond du Lac, 6-5.
Definitely good to get that first one today. Would have made the day a lot longer if we had to come back and try to win the second one versus taking the first one.
No kidding, you didn't take it easy either, winning it in the top of the 9th inning off of a 2 RBI triple from Tanner Poole.
That guy's been great. Great addition to the club last week. Started off super hot.
First pitch he tosses, finds the zone, 0-1. Poole, of course, playing in his debut today. His first at-bats coming against Fond du Lac earlier today. He gets the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game in his first game as a Bullfrog. Brandon Wolf skyrockets a fly ball into center field. Johnson gets underneath it, cut off to Pleschner. Throw to third is not there, and it'll send A.J. Lewis all the way over to third base. He tags up and gets over to third. So Wolf advances a runner from second to third, and now runners on the corners with one out on the board, and Luke Mangieri will dig in, the first baseman. Nice sunny afternoon here as the nights get longer as we approach summer season. And Jerry digs in, the cleanup hitter now for the Dock Spiders. First pitch he throws is low, 1-0. Dock Spiders in their all gray uniforms with blue caps, and their letters accented in a yellow. So, personally, I really like the font on there. Numbers. 1-2 pitch laid down, fouled straight into the dirt. We can't get enough of the bunt there. Just goes straight down and sits there in the batter's box. It's 1-1 count now. It's almost as if all of the lettering is made of wood. If you haven't checked it out, I'd go online and give it a look. It's an interesting look. Of course, Dock Spiders in their first season in the league, making their first trip in history to Green Bay here today. The word Fondy written across their chest. Bullfrogs in their home pinstripes. The 1-1 pitch is swung on. That's a base hit right side that gets into the outfield. Runner will score from third. The throw from Tanner Poole to the cutoff man in time.
Wow, that's big.
Or rather, Zach Rapinski out there in right field gets one there, launches it into the third baseman, Ben Hardy. Tags, puts down the tag in time and gets the runner trying to get an extra base. 2 outs on the board now, but the Dock Spiders take a 1-0 lead.
Love to see that as a catcher. That completely changes the way that you're going to call pitches for this next batter. Having 2 outs versus 1 out, runners on the corners, that changes the inning right there.
So a good play from Zach Rapinski puts 2 outs up on the board and a runner at first now as Eric Gillenbach digs in, the right fielder for the Dock Spiders. First, he swings at it, ground ball to Pleschner. He just underhand tosses it to Frazier, who's on the bag for the third out. The Bullfrogs leave one stranded, but the Dock Spiders get one across. They lead 1-0. Stay tuned for the bottom of the first inning. After this, you're listening to WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Have you discovered the privileges of membership? NEW Credit Union is a full-service, member-owned financial cooperative, where many of the services are low-cost or no-cost. NEW Credit Union offers a full range of financial management products, including savings, share draft checking, consumer, auto, recreational vehicle, and home loans, as well as financial counseling resources. Offices are located at 301 Jackson Street, O'Connell Falls, 405 Pecor Street, O'Connell, and 717 East Main Street, Surrey. Online at newcu.org. We also have easy member account access with your smartphone through our mobile money app. NEW Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration and is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Oconto, and Shawano counties. Members matter most at NEW Credit Union, where we can help you own it.
Yeah, that does it. Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Frogs. About to get underway with the bottom of the first inning. The Bullfrogs trail the Dock Spiders 1-0 after the Dock Spiders managed to get a run across off of a RBI from Luke Mangieri. Due up for the Bullfrogs here will be Mikey Falia, Aaron Pleschner, and Troy Johnston. Falia, the left fielder, finds himself in the leadoff spot for the first time this season. Of course, this just his third game in a Bullfrogs uniform. A quick apology to all of those trying to tune in. We realize we're having some audio issues, trying to get that fixed. So for the half inning or so, Plunkett will not be joining me. But nonetheless, Falia stands in. Aaron Pleshner, of course, on deck. Out on the bump for the Dock Spiders is Jack Collins. Left-handed pitcher stands in. Tosses the first one, and misses the zone, 1-0. One count, no outs on the board. Collins comes set, rocks back, sends in the 1-0. Fastball inside, swing and a miss, 1-1. Jack Collins out of Denmark, Wisconsin, so not too far from the area. Plays his ball for Central Michigan. Of course, teammates with Grant Frazier. 1-1 pitch, low and outside, 2-1. Frazier, of course, the local guy from Ocano. Jack Collins, so far in this season for the Dock Spiders, posting a 4.15 ERA. This is his first start. 2-1, swing and a miss, evens it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. In 4 1/3 innings, he's got 4 strikeouts, 6 walks, and has allowed 6 hits. His last time out was just 3 days ago in a loss to Lakeshore. He pitched 1 inning and struck out 1. The 2-2 offering outside for a ball, full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mikey Falia of UC Irvine. Falia grew up in Irvine, California. Watches the payoff pitch run high for ball 4, and the Bullfrogs have their first runner on a base in this one. And Aaron Pleshner will dig in now for the Frogs out of San Jose State University. This past season for San Jose State, Pleshner would post a .279 batting average. Johnston stands in on deck for the Bullfrogs, and Pleshner, the righty, will dig in. Jack Collins, a left-handed pitcher on the bump, takes a breath, kicks his legs, comes home. It's a fastball that runs well inside. Pleshner has to dodge away from it. A 1-0 count. Aaron Pleshner 2 years ago led the San Jose State team in RBIs with 26 as a freshman. Would bat .264. Just 18. Stands in now at 20. Throw back to first. And Falia runs back safely. 1-0 count here, no outs on the board. Runner at first. Bottom of the first inning, we're all knotted up 0-0. Excuse me, rather 1-0, of course. Dock Spiders put one across the top of the first. 1-0 off. Swung on, ground ball to the second baseman, Lewis. Underhand toss to the shortstop. Throw to first. Not in time. Pleshner is able to beat out the double play as he hits into the 4-6 fielder's choice. And so Mikey Falia will jog on back to the dugout. And Troy Johnston will dig in, the center fielder out of Gonzaga. Aaron Pleshner had a solid day earlier today during the doubleheader. Would record 2 hits and steal a couple of bags as well for the Frogs. First pitch that Johnston sees is well outside. Fastball, 1-0. Johnson in game 1 today would go 1 for 5 and come around to score with 2 strikeouts. He's batting .304 on the season after today's game. The 1-0 to the left, he's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Troy Johnson's been a nice addition to the squad for the Bullfrogs. Sat out in a couple of games recently here at home, but he's currently supporting a hit streak that elapses 12 games. Of course, back on June 11th would go 5 for 5 and hit the game-tying home run. Back in the walk-off victory a week ago. 2-0 pitch swung on, a little blooper out into left field. Running forward is Colton Neal, and he catches it on the run, running towards the infield for the second out. So 2 outs on the board now. Johnson will walk back to the dugout, and Tanner Poole will dig in. Poole, of course, out of Mississippi State University. This past season for the Bulldogs, appeared in many a games and was at a respectable batting average as well. The year before that, he's transferred out of Itawamba Community College, where he would bat .378, boast 39 RBIs, and steal 26 bases. Of course, played well enough to send him out to Mississippi State, of course, who just made a run into the Super Regionals. Asked him what it was like to be in Green Bay when he first arrived, and he said, well, I'd like to be in Omaha. Johnny Field, how much he wanted that one. As the pitch gets away from catcher Jason Santana, and Aaron Pleschner will scamper on over to second off of the passed ball. Tanner Poole, of course, the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Day, as he would go 3 for 5 in the game earlier today with 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. Would steal a base in the contest as well. And a phenomenal debut. Collins steps off the mound, and Pleschner walks back over the bag here on this partly cloudy day. There's a dark cloud out in center field, but I don't think it will affect us. 1-0 pitch, just outside. 2-0 count now. It's on the board. Bottom of the first, Frogs trail 1-0. The all stocky left-handed pitcher stands in, staring down his catcher, Santana. Checks Pleschner at second, comes home. 2-0 pitch, finds the zone, 2-1. Tanner stands back in. Mississippi State Bulldog waits. Flags out in center field. Waved him left to right field or so. Nice breeze in the cloud. In the atmosphere, rather, I should say, here tonight. Very comfortable weather out. After having a day that started off very gloomy. Collins checks Pleschner twice, comes home with a 2-1. That one's outside for ball 3. 3-1 count now, 2 outs on the board. Runner at second. Poole, of course, today would go for 5. As mentioned, seemed like every single time he came up to bat, he was belting an extra base hit. In fact, he would. 2 doubles and a triple. Swings at the 3-1 pitch, and that one's out into center field. That will drop fair. They're sending Aaron Pleschner home. The throw from second won't be there, and Aaron Pleschner will come around to score for the Bullfrogs. They tie it up here in the first inning, 1-1 off of a RBI single from Tanner Poole. Wow, what an addition to the squad that Poole has been. Is the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine and Player of the Game to start off for the season, or rather his season. And then belts an RBI line drive out into center to tie things up. 1-1 now. I'll bring up Alex Pinner, the first baseman today. Pinner, of course, out of Scottsdale Community College, will be transferring to Mississippi State after the season is over. So 2 future teammates out in the field now for the Frogs. Poole over at first, and Pinner at bat. Swings at the first pitch he sees and misses, 0-1. The 0-1 delivery in the dirt, 1-1. Pinner this season for the Frogs, supporting a .211 batting. This past season for Scottsdale Community College, however, would have been around 300 and belts 12 home runs. The 1-1. Swung on, line drive into center field. Running forward is the center fielder, and he can't get there. And it gets away from him as well. Tanner Poole rounding second and will get all the way over to third base. And now runners on the corners for the Bullfrogs after Alex Pinner squares in and belts out a line drive to center field. So the two Mississippi State kids on the corners for Zach Rapinski, the right fielder. Of course, out of the University of Nebraska. On a temporary contract, just has a few more days left in Green Bay. You can bet he's going to try to make the most of them. Jack Collins now stands out on the mound. Previously with a runner and second with 2 outs on the board, but now a run has come across and there's 2 on. First and third. Pinsky, the righty, stands in. Collins tossed high and inside. Pinsky has to lead away from it, 1-1. Ben Hart standing on deck for the Frogs, the third baseman. Collins takes a deep breath. The lefty comes set from the hip. 1-1. Count now after Rapinski swung and missed at that one. Rapinski comes into the game for the Bullfrogs, sporting a 263 bet at bats. He's got 5 hits and RBI, and it struck out on a Prior Lake, Minnesota. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Cal moves to 1-2. A 1-1 count, 2 outs on the board, runners on the corners. We're going to have to step aside for all you listening because of our audio issues. Thanks for tuning in. Here's Zach Rapinski, of course, at the bat. The offering to him is low and inside. It gets away from the catcher, but no harm done. 2-2 count, 2 outs on the board. We're going to have to step aside here. Bottom of the first inning. Runners on the corners. All tied up 1-1.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town. Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
What happened? I didn't even see.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
Just like a great coach, State Farm agents Margie Dahl and Oconto and Paul Huberty and Lena can help you develop a game plan for your insurance needs. Whether it's car, home, life, health, or business, agents Margie Dahl and Paul Huberty can help you find the affordable coverage you need. When your life and goals change, agents Margie Dahl and Paul Huberty will be there to help you adjust your insurance game plan with a free family insurance checkup. So for all your insurance needs, call on a winner. State Farm agents Margie Dahl at 834-5151 and Paul Huberty at 829-5555.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Brewpub Pizza or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brewpub Pizza. Brewpub, lots of matzo pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Did you know that we here at the O'Connell Pharmacy would mail your prescriptions to you? At the O'Connell Pharmacy, we would like to make things easy for you. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin here at Joanne Stadium. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Frogs, having some audio issues, trying to figure that out here for you as we try to readjust all of our plugins here. Nonetheless, the Bullfrogs banner would strike out with runners on the corners and Zach Rapinski. But they did get a one run across. It's tied up 1-1. The first banner for the Dock Spiders, Joe Bro would square away and fly one out to left field. Mikey Filio would get underneath of it and grab it for the first down. Chris Cornelius digs in now with a 1-1 count, swings at it to fly ball right side towards the lining deck. Tracking over there is Alex Pinner, but he can't make the play, sliding in to try to grab it, but he's unable to. It's foul, 1-2 now, 1 out on the board. Still having some audio issues here. We'll try to replug some stuff here. Stay with us. So a 2-2 count now. That one swung on, line drive left field. That will drop fair. Chris Cornelius rounding first. He's going for two. Throw to second, and they got him in a pickle. He's stuck between first and second. Frazier running him down, throws it to Pinner. Pinner running him down out towards second. Throw to Pleschner, and he's just going to run after him and put the tag on him, and he's out. 2 outs on the board. If you are tuning in to the the Northwoods League web stream and you're having trouble with the audio here, what I would suggest doing is muting that audio and then bringing up the YouTube audio. You can search that by going WOCO Sports on YouTube, or you can go to our Twitter page at GB Bullfrogs and click on the YouTube link that's under radio. The radio stream audio is fine, but if you're tuned in on the Northwoods League site, we're having some troubles with it. Nonetheless, Jason Santana is dug in now for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. First pitch, 2 outs outside, 1-0. Noah Miller still out dealing for the Frogs now, has pitched relatively well here in the second. No pitch inside for a ball, 2-0 offering. Swung on and fouled back past the press box here. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out on the board. Just as a reminder, you can follow along on Twitter at GB Bullfrogs. Again, I suggest clicking that link for some cleaner audio. 2-1 pitch, swung on, ground bar to Hart, throw over to Pinner, gets away from him. Rounding first is Santana, and he's going to get into second, standing up, as Zach Shoemaker runs all the way over there by the bullpen even to pick it up. And he will actually, oh, no, he'll stay at second. I thought they were going to award him third base as well. But nonetheless, runner in scoring position now at second base. What looked like was going to be a routine 5-3 play. The throw from Hart a bit low and outside, and Pinner can't make the scoop. It gets past him. That's the first error of the game. The Bullfrogs post a couple earlier today. Probably could have had a couple more. Both the teams could. The scoring in that game a little lenient, I'd say. But nonetheless, a runner now at second, and the new batter, Runabaugh, will stand in, the third baseman. Comes into the game for the Dock Spiders, posting a 175 batting average. Runabaugh, of course, out of Overland Park, Kansas. Teammates with, of course, Zach Plunkett and Noah Miller. So an Arkansas showdown here on the baseball diamond. The 1-0. Swung on, check swing, didn't go around. It was low and inside. The appeal from Shoemaker. Second base umpire says no, he did not go around. Third base rep. Nonetheless, 2-0 count now. Runnebaum had a phenomenal game earlier today. He's one of the few Doc Spiders to have a multi-hit day. 2-0 pitch. Umpire says he went around. 2-1 now. It was a check. He would go 3 for 4 today. Would have belt a double and an RBI. Come around to score one time for the Doc Spiders. The 2-1 pitch. Come outside. 3-1. 3-1 count here, 2 outs on the board. Bullfrogs looking for the third to get out of this top of the second and leave one stranded. Miller, the righty, upset. Looks, checks the runner at second, comes home. 3-1 pitch, swung on, line drive to Grant Frazier. Gets to his right, makes the play, throw to first, is in time, but Alex Pinner can't make the squeeze. It falls off his glove, and that's twice now that the Bullfrogs could have got out of the inning, but 2 errors in runners at first and third now. It was a nice defensive play from the second baseman, Grant Frazier, running to his right, sliding, backhanding it, gets up, launches one to first, but Pinner can't squeeze it. And it just kind of flops off of his glove and hits the ground. And the runner and Runnebaum gets in safely. So an E3 on that one after the E5 for Santana. A.J. Lewis, the second baseman, stands in now back up to the top of the lineup. A nice breaking ball from Noah Miller finds the inside of the zone, 0-1. A.J. Lewis's last time up in the last inning would walk and come around to score for the Doc Spiders. Swings at the pitch, fouls it off. 0-2 count now. A.J. Lewis has been the brightest spot for this Doc Spiders team, coming into the game batting .375. Of course, out of Missouri, just a freshman. Breaking ball from Miller. Runs low, 1-2 now. Lewis out of Chicago, Illinois. Didn't get any playing time this past spring. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Or much playing time this past spring, I should say. Went just 1 for 23. However, back in the fall for Missouri, would bat .333. 2-2. That one just misses the zone. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Doc Spiders looking to take the lead here with runners on the corner. Noah Miller comes in, adjusts his hat. Shakes off the nerves, comes set. Odds his head, delivers. Payoff, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Noah Miller K's him up and will walk back to the dugout confidently after the Bullfrogs leave 2 stranded. That'll do it here for the top of the second inning. On to the bottom half we go. Bullfrogs tied up with the Spiders 1-1.
Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
It's Cellcom's Customer Appreciation Celebrations. Get smartphones from the top 2 brands for just a penny each, along with food prizes and sales on accessories. Cellcom, built for you. Available day of event only. New 2-year activation qualified upgrade required. Restrictions apply. Visit cellcom.com/celebrate for details.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Again, if you're tuned in on your televisions or on Stretch Internet, we're having some audio issues. To fix that audio issue, you're going to have to go to YouTube. and type in WOCO Sports to find that audio. And then if you want to watch, you can press mute. If you want to listen, then you can listen in on the YouTube. It's a radio-only stream that we do also. Of course, we're going to have a permanent fix to this problem. That's just a temporary solution for you for right now. The Bullfrogs are all knotted up here in the bottom of the second inning, 1-1 against the Dock Spiders, who, of course, they beat earlier today, 6-5 in a contest where the Bullfrogs just snuck away, scoring a couple of runs in the top half of the ninth. Ben Hart squares in now, the third baseman out of Oakland University. First pitch he sees, fastball just missing the zone, 1-0. I can welcome back my broadcast partner for the day here, Zach Plunkett, into the broadcast. We thought that maybe that might be the problem. That is not the case. No pitch finds the zone, 1-1. Of course, we talked about it. Of course, it was an Arkansas showdown with Ramabam and Miller. What can you tell me about Ramabam? Or how am I pronouncing his name?
Ronabon, yeah.
Ronabon.
They've had plenty of those showdowns this spring. We would go into the Fowler, which is our hitting facility, and we'd, just pitch and hit off of each other. And so not surprised there that he had pretty good contact with that ball, because Noah Miller is literally one of the 4 pitchers that he's seen this spring.
With that, Ben Hart fouls one away, 1-2 count now. The delivery swung on and missed, dropped, strike 3. They're going to have to finish out the out, and they do that easily. 1 out on the board now, and Zach Shoemaker, the catcher, will square in. So Ben Hart will go down with a K. Is the second strikeout of the day for Jack Collin. The Bullfrogs with 2 hits on the day and have committed 2 errors, and the Dock Spiders with 3 hits. Both teams with 1 run apiece. It's 1-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch, Shoemaker sees, runs high for a ball, 1-0. Trying to get a link out for all of you tuning in on the Twitter page to try to get you the ability to tune in, of course, with the radio stream, as we're having these issues with audio for those of you tuned in on Stretch Internet. 2-0 pitch swung on a fly ball into right center field, but Joe Bro, running to his left, can grab it sprinting on the fly for the second out. Nice contact from Shoemaker, but he goes down. 2 outs on the board now. Zach, earlier today, the Bullfrogs would take that 3-0 lead. Feel like the majority of the time the Bullfrogs have come away with a W. It's when they do take those early leads.
Yeah, unfortunately today we weren't able to hold on to that lead, but I think it was almost better for us as a team to be able to come back and win that game in the late innings. I think that's one of the few times that we've done that this year.
Bullfrogs, of course, never trailing in the contest. Or rather, they'd get a run back to tie it up. They were down by 1, 3-4 at one point after a 4-run 6th inning. But the Bullfrogs would put 1 across and then tack on 2 more in the 9th. Grant Frazier dug in now for the Frogs. He's down, or rather ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs on the board here, nobody on. Frazier watches that one go by high. 3 balls, no strikes here. Frazier had a good day earlier today. He's a guy that has struggled at the plate this season, but managed a multi-hit day against the Dock Spiders earlier. He'd go 2 for 4 with a run. And watches one go by, takes sign on, 3-1 now. Frazier out of Central Michigan University. Facing off against his teammate. 3-1 is inside. That one finds the zone. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Bullfrogs go down off of 2 strikeouts. That'll do it here for the second inning. On to the third we go. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin, every Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brew Pub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Wisconsin is this: without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, here at Joe Annie Stadium. My name is Nolan Knight, joined by Zach Plunkett, about to get underway with the top of the third inning. We are aware of the audio issues that we did have. They should be fixed now, so thank you for all of those that have stayed tuned and have stuck in there with us through the problems. Nonetheless, Colton Neal digs in, the left fielder for the Dock Spiders, swings at the first pitch he sees from Miller. It's a slow grounder to Grant Frazier, who picks it up and throws it over to first for the first down. So one down off of one pitch, and that will bring up Brandon Wolf, the designated hitter. Wolf, his last time up, would fly out to center field.
This is pretty much an automatic fastball right here as a catcher. Oh, go slider.
Went with slider for that one.
Pitch.
0-1 count now after the slider.
First pitch out, you always want to get in there with a strike immediately, because a lot of times the hitter will have the take sign from his coach because they want to avoid the 3-pitch inning, but Zach wants to go a different direction with that, and it works.
A 1 offering goes by for a ball. The 1-1 breaking ball misses. 2-1 count with 1 out on the board, nobody on. Top of the third inning, knotted up at once. That one swung on and fouled back, rather. Evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out on the board here. As Mike Ramazzani runs over and picks up the foul ball and waltzes his way back over towards the dugout. We're back under play. 2-2. Swung on, ground ball to Aaron Pleshner at shortstop. Scoops it, throws it to first, and it runs high, well high, and in fact nearly gets into the dugout of the Bullfrogs. It won't cost an extra base hit, but it will be the third error. That's the third time now that the Bullfrogs would have had an out, but that one from Pleshner, airmail over at first base, and so a runner on now.
That's got to be tough to see as a pitcher. You're getting your ground ball outs, but Noah keeps coming back, and he keeps shoving the ball in the strike zone and keeps getting more outs. So let's see if he can get out of it here.
So due up now for the Dock Spiders will be Luke Mangieri. The first baseman got a single his last time up. First pitch he sees, fastball that runs low. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out on the board, a runner at first. You hear people harp on errors and whatnot throughout the baseball world and how detrimental they can be to your team. And what is your view on them? Do you think they have an effect as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and grounded to Alex Pinner? He stomps on the bag and throws it over to second, but it's not in time. It'll be an uninsisted out at first, and a runner moves to second. But nonetheless, there's 3 errors on the board already for the Frogs here, just 2 innings in. How harmful can that be to your team?
I mean, it can be detrimental. I mean, as a hitter, obviously, it's hard to get on base to begin with. So when you're giving away free bags like that, whether it be an error or walk, it can really work as a catalyst to just help the other team in their inning and score. So
Eric Gillenbach digs in. He's 0 for 1 of the day with a ground out to the shortstop. Watches the first one, missed the zone, 1-0, 2 outs on the board, runner on second. And Brandon Wolf, who got on due to the E6. Gillenbach stands in. Miller checks the runner at second, comes home. Breaking ball that finds the zone. A nice pitch from Miller there, 1-1. Crowd is kind of a little better out there, and here the third base side is relatively full, as well as the club side on the left side, as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled away. 1-2 count now. The beer batter is up, so the crowd will erupt if he strikes out here. The Bud Light deck out there in left field, packed to the brim. The company has rented that out for the afternoon.
They'd like to see a strikeout here, I bet.
Miller checks the runner at second, comes home. 1-2 pitch. That one's low and in the dirt. 2-2. 2 outs on the board, a runner on second. I've always wondered, does it have an effect on the batter when you get announced that you're a beer batter on the road?
Oh, absolutely. I was the beer batter in Madison a couple weeks ago, and my main goal for the night just turned into not striking out when it probably should have been getting on base. But I counted it as a win every time I walked back to the dugout, and I'd at least hit the ball. So
2-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball left side to Ben Hardy, throws it across the field, and Alex Pinner scoops it out the dirt for the third out. The Bullfrogs get out of the inning despite runners at second base off of the error. And the Bullfrogs get out on the top of the third inning. On to the bottom half we go. You're listening to WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Have you discovered the privileges of membership? NEW Credit Union is a full-service, member-owned financial cooperative, where many of the services are low-cost or no-cost. NEW Credit Union offers a full range of financial management products, including savings, share draft checking, consumer, auto, recreational vehicle, and home loans, as well as financial counseling resources. Offices are located at 301 Jackson Street, O'Connell Falls, 405 Pecor Street, O'Connell, and 717 East Main Street, Surrey. Online at newcu.org. We also have easy member account access with your smartphone through our mobile money app. NEW Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration and is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Oconto, and Shawano counties. Members matter most at NEW Credit Union, where we can help you own it.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm glad that you guys can now hear us, of course, as we had some audio issues earlier in the game. But we're here back in the bottom of the third inning, and the Bullfrogs all knotted up with the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 1-1 as Mikey Falia will dig in. The left fielder, his first time up, was walked and then would come around to score for the Frogs. Would be hit into the fielder's choice, as it would be Aaron Pleshner that would come around to score after he hit into the fielder's choice. So nonetheless, Mikey Falia digs in. Looking for his first hit in the contest, is starting off his career as a Bullfrog on a tear. Comes into the game batting .714 in 7 at-bats, has 5 hits. First pitch he sees runs low for a ball, 1-0. Jack Collins still dealing for the Dock Spiders. 1-0 offering, runs high. 2 balls, no strikes, no out. No outs. Aaron Pleshner on deck, the 2-hole hitter. And the UC Irvine product stands in. Collins rocks back, sends in the 2-0 offering. That runs high. 3 balls, no strikes now. As mentioned a couple of times, the fans here kind of trickled in a little bit. During first pitch, you might think that it's going to be a snoozer, maybe just 20 fans in. Well, I think the numbers have approached close to 1,000 now if you count all of those out in the Bud Light Beach deck. Nonetheless, the 3-0 offering comes in, finds the outside of the zone, 3-1. Mikey Falia, of course, a smaller guy, but plays with some grit so far that we've seen from him. Stands at just 5'9". 3-1. Swung on, fouled back. 3-2. That was on the board.
That was not a little guy swing right there. he was trying to take the lead right there for the Bullfrogs.
Mikey Falia, one extra base on the season, managed to double last night. Or rather, 2 nights ago, of course. Last night was the off day for the Frogs. Falia stands back in, the payoff pitch to him. That one finds the outside of the zone, and Falia strikes out. A nice pitch from Jack Collins just finds the outside portion, and it's the first out up on the board. That'll bring up Aaron Pleschner. I was talking about earlier in the broadcast, or rather earlier in the day for the first broadcast, about how a lot of guys, just kind of took the day off. You went to the Milwaukee Brewers game. How was it?
I did. It was awesome. We actually went with 2 of the Doc Spiders, Alex Ronnebaum and Jacob Kossi-Schock. It was a great time. This is my first time ever getting to see Milwaukee, and of course they've got a...
The first pitch that Pleschner sees swung on, fly ball in foul territory right side, but it falls foul in the bullpen of the Bullfrogs.
Of course, Milwaukee's got that beautiful stadium. They actually opened the roof up in the middle of the game, so that was quite the experience to get to see it, it go from a dome to being an open-air stadium. It's a pretty cool experience.
It really makes it fit when you're in that stadium. It makes it really feel like you're at 2 different ballparks when that happens. At the beginning of the game, of course, it was closed. I actually made the trip down there as well to watch the contest. And it starts off and you're in a dome. It feels like one atmosphere, and then once it opened, all of a sudden you're like, man, what park am I in now?
Best part of the night by far, though, I actually ran into this umpire crew while I was in line for chicken fingers. Like, kid you not, they recognized me. They said hi, whatever. Told us they'd be at the game the next day. We tend to forget that umpires need off days too.
Yeah, no kidding. It was 21 or so days in a row before the Bullfrogs got their first day off. Of course, 8 and 12. You do the math on that one. And put in the rain delay as well. Nonetheless, it could have been a better game for the Milwaukee Brewers. They dropped the contest 8-1. 1-1. Ground ball back to the pitcher, Collins. A little toss over to first, grabs the second out. Aaron Pleschner goes down. He's 0 for 2 on the night now. That'll bring up Troy Johnston, the center fielder out of Gonzaga University. Or it is Gonzaga University. The Bullfrog this past season for the Bulldogs had a solid year. He would bat .323 during his freshman season. Would also tack on many of RBIs and not record an error the entire season. First pitch he sees, fastball, swings at it, misses. 0-1. Would you say that the off day yesterday was much needed after 21 days or so, or do you think you could have done a few more?
I think it was absolutely needed. I mean, I don't think I've ever been a part of anything like that. 21 straight days of baseball. Of course, we had the rain out, but it was good to just get a chance to relax and kind of get away from the baseball field for a day.
Nonetheless, Troy Johnston, the lefty, stands in. A 1-1 count. The delivery from Collins comes in. A check swing, gets a piece of it. 1-2 now.
Good thing, too, that we had that off day yesterday because we definitely had a full day of baseball today. I know a lot of the guys had to wake up, sometime around 7 to get on the bus, which left at 8:30. So definitely have gotten our fill of baseball today.
So much needed off day, as you can imagine. 1-2 offering outside for ball 2. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
It's a good block by the catcher right there.
Northwoods League, of course, 72 games in 74 days. It'll be 2 days that both, or rather every team in the Northwoods League will have that home-and-home doubleheader as the 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit right back to Jack Collins, the pitcher. He underhand tosses it to Luke Mangieri, and he is on the bag and catches it for the third out. That'll do it for the third inning. On to the fourth we go. The Bullfrogs knotted up with the Doc Spiders 1-1. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
American Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. About to get underway with the top of the fourth inning where the Bullfrogs are all tied up with the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 1-1. Nolan Knight here, joined by Green Bay Bullfrogs catcher Zach Plunkett. Due up for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters as Joe Bro squares in, swings at the first pitch he sees, a fly ball into left center field, and the center fielder Troy Johnston gets underneath of it and makes the grab for the first out. So Joe Bro swings at the first pitch he sees, 2 at-bats in a row, and here in the top of the fourth inning, the Bullfrogs have 1 out up on the board. That'll bring up Chris Cornelius, the shortstop. He squares in, the right-handed hitter Noah Johnson stares him down. Out of Missouri. Swings at the first pitch he sees. Ground ball to Pleschner. A little blooper towards him. He throws it over to first, and he grabs the second out. So 2 pitches, 2 outs.
There's the fastball I was talking about earlier. He's going for the world record right here on this next pitch.
Jason Santana stands in now, the catcher. Right-handed hitter out of Memphis University. 5'11" sophomore. Batted just 100 with 8 RBIs this past season for Memphis when he gets the start for his defensive skills at catcher for the Tigers. First pitch he sees inside for a ball, a 1-0 count. Miller rocks back, sends in the 1-0. Fastball that finds the zone, 1-1. Miller comes set. Stares down Santana. He waves his bat around. The 1-1 offering runs outside. 2-1. Would you rather have your pitcher swing in a first pitch ground out or watch him throw 3 straight strikes?
Definitely the ground out makes my life a whole lot easier, less time behind the plate, but it also allows him to go deeper into the game. They have a few rules about the pitch count here in the Northwoods, so that definitely helps him out.
2-2 offering swung on and found a way right side over towards the clubhouse. In fact, bounces off of it where a child makes the barehanded grab. So 2-2 count here, 2 outs on the board. Santana digs back in. Miller rocks, sends in the 2-0. That one's fouled back into the backstop. We'll stay at deuces. Noah Miller, of course, out of Arkansas, teammates with Zach Plunkett, who has joined me here in the booth. Both out of the University of Arkansas, play for the Razorbacks. Both sat out this past season for redshirting. We'll get more into that later in the contest. So no college stats for Miller from this past season. 2-2 pitch swung on. That's a blooper into left field, and it'll drop between Aaron Pleschner and Colton Neal out there. Nobody can get to it, and it just kind of falls out there in no man's land, and it's a base hit for the Dock Spiders. It's their 4th hit of the day, and that'll bring up Alex Rodabaugh, the Arkansas Razorback, playing third base today for the Dock Spiders. Rodabaugh, of course, had a solid game earlier today, going 3 for 4. Comes into the season and batting just 163, however. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Noah Miller comes set, sends in the first pitch, a breaking ball to Rodabaugh that finds the zone, 0-1. Ronabon waits. Miller comes set from the hit, deals the 0-1, swung on, line drive left side, and it gets into the outfield grass, and it's a second hit in the row for the Dock Spiders as they have now strung together a couple. That'll bring up the most dangerous player in the lineup for the Dock Spiders, A.J. Lewis, who bats .366.
Ronabom's having quite the day. He was an absolute weapon for the Dock Spiders today in the first game. It's always good to see your own teammates have success, but I mean, of course, you want to win the game, so it's kind of a bittersweet to see him poke that ball through the 6-hole.
You can't think that Noah Miller likes it. Of course, his teammate out on the bump tonight for the Bullfrogs. Checks the runner over at second and comes home. First pitch he throws to Lewis is a fastball that runs high, 1-0. As a pitcher, does your approach to a batter who is having a solid year have any effect on you?
I think it does. I mean, you gotta recognize their strengths and things that they're good at, and you're trying to pitch around those. And for some really good hitters like this guy who's at the plate, I think he said he was hitting 365. He doesn't have many weaknesses, so you got to try to find those.
2-0 offering finds the inside of the zone. 2-1 count now, 2 outs on the board. A.J. Lewis, of course, on the day already 1 for 2 with a run. Comes into the game for the Dock Spiders batting .365 as mentioned. He also has 5 RBIs on the season. A skyrocketed pop-up in a shallow center field is grabbed, and it's the 3rd out. That'll do it here for the top of the 4th inning. To the bottom half we go. The Bullfrogs leave 2 stranded. That'll do it for the top of the 4th inning. To the bottom we head. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Hi, folks. This is David from Witt's Piggly Wiggly in Oconto Falls. Are you sick of rising gas prices? Well, at Witt's, we have a solution. When you purchase qualified groceries with blue shelf stickers, and there's hundreds throughout our store, you build up discounts for 15 gallons of gas on your club card. Then, when you fill up at our Pig Stop pumps, just scan your card and watch the gas price drop. So scan your card, shop the blue stickers, and save money on gas at the Pig in Oconto Falls.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, about to get underway with the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm joined by Zach Plunkett today, the catcher for the Bullfrogs, who of course caught in today's game earlier, and Zach Shoemaker gets the start for the Frogs, so he has the ability to come out into the booth and provide some color commentary. I'm all for it, of course, as you can imagine. I've already called a 9-inning game today, and so the voice cords aren't my friends right now. So the fact that I have the ability to have someone else on air to give me a little bit of a break is nice. Nonetheless, Jack Collins, a left-handed pitcher, out on the mound tonight for the Dock Spiders. Off to a good start. He stays out on the bump here in the 4th inning, and due up for the Frogs is Tanner Poole, of course. Likely will become one of the best players on this roster if he continues his play. As his debut was named the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game for his 3-for-4 day, or rather 3-for-5 day, where he would belt 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 RBIs. The large portion of the reason why the Bullfrogs were able to escape Fond du Lac with a win. So the Mississippi State Bulldog digs in the right-hander. And of Armory, Mississippi, watches the first one go by for a strike, 0-1. So he stands in. Alex Pinner on deck. Pull 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Sweet takes a swing at the 0-1 offering and misses. 0-2 count now. Tanner Poole, a big presence in the box, 6'3", stocky build. The 0-2. That one finds the zone. It's a 3-pitch backwards K for Jack Collins. He continues his good play for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. He's pitched 3 innings now, has allowed 1 earned run, and has put up 4 Ks on the board. That'll bring up Alex Pinner, the Scottsdale kid. Alex Pinner, of course, one of those guys that started out at the JUCO ranks at Scottsdale Community College, played well there, and was able to commit to a Division I program. First pitch he sees, runs inside for a ball, a 1-0.
I think it's important to note that his JUCO is actually a wood bat league, so he's very accustomed to swinging wood bats here in the Northwoods.
The 1-0 offering. Swung on and fouled back, of course, for Scottsdale Community College. Alex Pinner would have some phenomenal seasons, where in both years he would post 11 home runs, 45 RBIs this past year, and 48 the year before last. For the Fighting Artichokes, arguably, I think, one of the best names in all of sports.
Definitely has the coolest gear out of anybody in the locker room right now. I've never seen an artichoke on a t-shirt.
He swings at the 1-1 pitch and fouls it back, 1-2. Back for Scottsdale, was awarded first team all-conference and a second team all-American. The 1-2 offering. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. It was in the dirt as well. So a 2-2 count now with 1 out on the board. So he's a guy that, of course, transferring into a big program. Plunkett, you're a guy that, of course, you used to play for TCU, and you made that transfer to now the University of Arkansas, as Alex Pinner takes a cut at that one and misses 2 straight strikeouts now. But what's it like to transfer into a new school and all of a sudden have new teammates, new coaches, and all of that?
You know, it's actually a lot like summer ball. I mean, you leave a team that you know really well, a bunch of guys that you've been with for a long time, and, you know, you step into a new role on a new team. And, I mean, it's a little bit overwhelming at first. You got a bunch of new faces, and, you know, being a transfer, it's not like you're a freshman coming in with a bunch of other freshmen. You're the new guy. So it's interesting for sure.
First pitch Rapinski sees, fouls it away, right side, 0-1.
Pinner's definitely one of the guys that I'm watching closely, though. We've become pretty good friends on the team. But definitely watching him and his swing, because he's a guy that will have to play next year in conference. And so any info I can get on him for next year, you know, could prove to be valuable.
0-1 offering comes in, swung on and missed, 0-2. Of course, teammates now with Tanner Poole. Do you remember seeing him play this past season? Of course, you sat out this past year due to redshirt.
Yeah, I remember seeing his name in the lineup and stuff like that. I expect to see him a lot more in the lineup this year. Of course, you know, being with the team, being on the road and stuff. But that's one of the cool things about summer leagues like this is, you know, you get to meet a bunch of guys that you wouldn't get to meet otherwise. I mean, at this level, college baseball, it's like a brotherhood. It's almost like a fraternity where everybody knows everybody in some way. And so just getting to know these guys outside of their schools is cool. And, you know, when you do play them, getting to, you know, go talk to them before the game or after the game, grabbing dinner or lunch, whatever. It's just a really cool opportunity.
0-2 offering, swung on and missed. It's a 3-strikeout inning for Jack Collins, and the Bullfrogs go down in order. That'll do it for the 4th frame. On to the 5th we go. You're listening to WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Tri-City Glass Indoors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960, specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts. Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, here at Joanne Stadium. About to get underway with the top of the 5th inning. The Bullfrogs all knotted up with the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 1-1. Due up for Fond du Lac will be Colton Neal, Brandon Wolf, and Luke Mangieri. Colton Neal on the day 0 for 1 with a walk back in the first and would ground out to second his last time up. As the PA announcement was just made, pitching coach for the Bullfrogs, Chris Marston's celebrating his second wedding anniversary. So Colton Neal watches the first one go by for a ball. The 1-0 offering comes in, a fastball that just misses the zone. 2-0. Noah Miller still out there on the bump for the Frogs. Deals in the 0-2 pitch, swung on a line drive left field that drops fair into the outfield grass, and that'll be a base hit for Colton Neal, now 1 for 2 on the day. It's the 6th hit of the day for the Dock Spiders. They've managed to get a couple on, but the Bullfrogs have managed to leave them stranded. So Brandon Wolf will now dig in, the designated hitter, who's 0 for 2 on the day, but would get on base due to an error his last time up. Noah gives a peep over to the runner at first and comes home. It's a breaking ball that finds the zone. A nice pitch, 0-1. A 1 delivery sent in. As low and in the dirt, however, 1 ball and 1 strike. Noah Miller, of course, the Arkansas Razorback out on the bump. Tall, lengthy guy, 6'4", 180. Takes up a look over at the guy at first. Comes set, delivers. 1-1 pitch, swung on, hit right up the middle of the field to Frazier. Underhand to Pleschner. Throw to first in time.
Wow.
4-6-3 double-A for the Frogs. A nice defensive play.
It's exactly what you want to see right there if you're Noah Miller. Getting a ground ball after giving up a leadoff hit really changes the course of the inning.
Grant Frazier at second base, runs to his right, slides, catches it, and without making a transfer, just kind of tosses it up to Pleschner. He makes the grab and launches one over to Pinner at first for the double play, and just like that, nobody on now with 2 outs on the board, and Luke Mangieri will dig in. First pitch he sees, fastball that runs well inside, nearly hits Mangieri here. Bullfrogs, of course, leading the Northwoods League in hit by pitch category. It's been something that they have struggled with this season. In fact, Bullfrogs with 31 hit by pitches this year, compared to, of course, the St. Cloud Rocks, who have just 12. 1-0 pitch, swung on by Mangieri. Second baseman Grant Frazier scoops it up, throws it to Pinner at first, and grabs the 3rd out. The Bullfrogs put them down. That'll do it for the top of the 5th. On to the bottom half we go. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not to kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Joanne Stadium about to get underway with the bottom of the 5th inning. Due up for the Frogs will be the second or rather third baseman on the day, Ben Hart. Hart 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. He is one of 6, or rather 7 strikeout victims of Jack Collins, who has been dealing out on the mound for the Dock Spiders.
Collins had what looked like a shaky start, but he's definitely gotten stronger as the game's gone on. Of course, striking all 3 out last inning.
So Ben Hart digs in, the righty out of Oakland University. The delivery from Collins comes across, swung on and missed, 0-1. Due up for the Frogs this inning, the 7-8-9 hitter Shoemaker and Frazier is in the hole. Collins comes set at the hip, the left-handed hurler. Kicks his leg, delivers, 0-1 offering, runs low, 1-1. Of course, here in the Northwoods League, one of the claim to fames is that, it's kind of like minor league ball, and it gives these guys an opportunity to see what it would be like if they make that next step. 1-1 pitch inside, 2-1. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think you're not going to get a closer picture to what professional baseball is going to look like outside of the Northwoods League. I mean, playing every day is just it's something that you can't really replicate. I mean, until you're here. It's not. I mean, waking up every day and feeling the game from the night before is you can't get that playing college ball, playing 4 games a week.
2-1 pitch runs outside. The 3-1 does as well. So Ben Hart gets on a base with a walk, ending the strikeout spree from Collins, and that'll bring up Zach Shoemaker, the catcher who flew out to center field his last time up. Shoemaker on the season comes into the game batting just 111, but did manage a couple of hits a few nights ago, where he went on a 2-game hit streak. In fact, currently is on that 2-game hit streak. Would get a hit at Madison and then get a hit at Rockford a couple of nights ago. He digs in, the righty out of Lenore Ryan University. First pitch he sees runs high, 1-0.
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a steal right here from Ben Hart. We got 3 consecutive zeros up on the board. Bullfrogs got to do something to get a guy in scoring position here for when they do get that hit.
So Ben Hart takes his lead over at first. Collins stares down Shoemaker. Comes set at the hip. Takes a deep breath, delivers. 1-0 outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes here. No outs. Runner at first. Bottom of the 5th. Tied up 1-1. Hart takes his lead over at first. Frazier standing on deck as the sun begins to set here in Green Bay. The 2-2, or rather the 2-0, finds the zone, then moves it to 2-1. Earlier today, I thought that we were going to have to play a double header here in Green Bay. I did not think that the rain out in Fond du Lac was going to let up, but by the time the game started, it was sunny and nearly kind of warm. Throw back to first, Hart back safely.
This is arguably some of the best weather we've had in the past couple of weeks. I mean, it's been pretty hot up here in Green Bay, and from the looks of it, it looked like it was going to be a pretty wet and muggy day, but it's definitely shaped up to be gorgeous.
The wind that was out into center field now has come to a standstill. The 2-1 swung on, found off right side, out of play in towards the third base club side. 2-2 count now, no outs on the board. Of course, Wisconsin, you would think that the summers would be kind of chilly. You think until your playing days, you shared with us that you played out in the Alaskan League a few years back. Of course, has one of the better reputations for summer collegiate leagues. Was it cold up there during the summertime?
No, I mean, I went to Omaha that year, so by the time I got there, any remnant of cold weather was pretty much gone. It was beautiful, but you tend to see these summer leagues.
As the 2-2 pitch is grounded to the shortstop, 6-4-3 double play. Shoemaker hits into the double play, and the Dock Spiders convert it. The shortstop, Cornelius, tosses it to Lewis at second, and he launches one over to Mangieri at first for 2 outs on the board. That'll bring up Grant Frazier.
As I was saying, a lot of the most popular collegiate summer leagues are in areas that do have good weather. I mean, you've got Cape Cod, which is, pretty good climate, Alaska, California, and up here in the Northwoods. Nobody really wants to go down to Texas for a summer and, play 50 games in the heat.
Well, that being said, we have had some warm ones here. I wouldn't call them scorching hot, but nonetheless, first pitch Grant Frazier sees goes by for a strike. The 0-1 offering now from Collins is a breaking ball that finds the inside of the zone. Frazier gets behind the count 0-2 with 2 outs on the board and nobody up. The leadoff batter, Falia, on deck. Collins comes set. Already with 7 strikeouts on the day. 0-2, swing and a miss, make it 8. Jack Collins having a day out there on the mound for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in his first start for Fondy. That'll do it here for the 5th inning. We're going to move to the 6th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today, 715-735-0583.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. About to get underway with the top of the 6th inning. It's still Noah Miller out on the bump for the Bullfrogs. He's pitched a solid one thus far, but has allowed 6 hits. And the Bullfrogs have committed 3 errors. Just 1 run has come across for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in this one, and it was earned. So coming up to the plate now for the Spiders will be their the 5-hole hitter, as the Bullfrogs committed a double play in the last one, or rather converted one. Gillen back on the day 0 for 2 with a strikeout his last time up in the bottom of the 3rd, or rather top of the 3rd. First pitch that Miller throws there, a breaking ball that just misses the zone, 1-0. Miller sends in the 1-0 offering. That's a breaking ball that runs inside as well. 2 balls, no strikes now, no outs on the board. Of course, teammates with Miller and the University of Arkansas as the 2-0 pitch comes in and swung on and fouled away 2-1. Have you gotten a feel? Would you consider the two of you a battery?
I'd say so. I think I've caught him during 2 starts so far this summer, and he's done decently well in both of those. So I think we work well together.
The 2-1 pitch swung on, a fly ball deep into left field at the wall. Mikey Falia he does make the catch. Mikey Falia at the wall. It looked as if he might not have gotten it. It's over there in front of that white banner, so it's hard to see here from the press box, but he jumps up, makes the grab, and runs into the wall, and it puts the first out up on the board. He has been phenomenal here in his short tenure with the Bullfrogs thus far.
Took a quick second to squat down there, probably catching his breath. One thing you can't tell on the broadcast is that outfield wall is completely made of cement, so definitely took one there for the pitcher.
Joe Bro stands in. First pitch he sees, runs outside, 1-0. Bro out of McLennan Community College. Swings at the 1-0 pitch. It's a grounder right back to Noah Miller, and it takes a friendly bounce for the Dock Spiders as it hits off the inside shoe of Miller and gets away from him. He's frustrated with himself on it. However, I don't think he could have done too much about it.
I was about to say, with what he just got away with, I think he'd much rather give up that single off of his heel.
So a runner over at first now off of the 7th hit of the day for the Dock Spiders, compared to just 2 on the day for the Frogs. But yet we're still knotted up 1-1 in the top of the 7th. Cornelius now stands in, and it's a breaking ball from Miller that finds the zone, 0-1. Cornelius out of the University of Missouri. He's a Missouri guy through and through, grew up in St. Louis. Won the starting job at shortstop this past season for the Tigers as the 0-1 offering runs high, 1-1. Was the first freshman since 2008 and won the starting job for the Southeastern Conference school. Had a solid season this past year for Mizzou as well. The 1-1 offering swung on, ground ball to Grant Frazier at second, throw to Pinner at first is in time, but it does advance the runner over to second, so it's a 4-3 out for the second out, and due up now for the Dock Spiders will be Jason Santana, the catcher. Santana, the catcher, of course, out of Memphis University. Comes into the game for the Dock Spiders, supporting a .333 batting average. Granted, in limited playing time, just 4 at-bats to his name this season. First pitch he sees, swung on. It's a ground ball to Aaron Plessner at shortstop. Throw to first in time. The Bullfrogs leave one stranded. And that'll do it for the top of the 6th. To the bottom half we go. We're still all knotted up at ones. That'll do it. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin. Every Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brew Pub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
At 24/7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 Well and Pump Service, Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Frogs, about to get underway with the bottom of the 6th inning. And there's a new pitcher out on the mound for the Dock Spiders. It'll be Dominic Irico. So Jack Collins' day has come to a close. He had a phenomenal day. Give him some credit. 5 innings pitched, just 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts in 18 batters faced. So that'll bring up, as mentioned, Dominic Urigo, not Irigo. Urigo. Nonetheless, he, so far this season for the Dock Spiders, has pitched in 9 games and has allowed 6 earned runs. He has pitched in 9 innings, allowing 6 earned runs and tossing 7 strikeouts. Due up for the Bullfrogs, we're back up to the top of the lineup as Mikey Falillo will dig in, the left fielder. Out of UC Irvine is 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Back in the 3rd inning, the Bullfrogs have been shut down on the day. Just 2 hits on the board, but they did manage a run in the bottom of the 1st inning to tie us up all at singles, 1-1. 1-2-1. So Falia, the Irvine product, stands in. Here on this Tuesday, June afternoon, the day after the day off, as we approach the 2nd third of this season. First pitch, Falia sees, swings at it, line drive into left center field. That will drop fair. Shortstop Cornelius tracks back and tries to make the over-the-shoulder grab, but can't. And Mikey Falia continues his good play for the Bullfrogs. gets the third hit of the day for the Frogs. And Aaron Pleschner, now the shortstop out of San Jose State, will dig in.
You're talking just a moment ago about how great of a day Collins had. 5 innings pitched and 8 strikeouts. I'm kind of surprised to not see him back out there on the mound.
You never know here, especially in the summer collegiate leagues, especially with the amount of restrictions that guys can have sometimes, of course, with the amount of innings they can pitch. The Bullfrogs have a few pitchers like that as well. Nonetheless, Falia stands over at first, and the new pitcher out on the mound, Urigo, will throw it back over, and Falia will dive back in. Those two names a little too close for my liking. Urigo, the right-handed hurler out of Western Texas, stands in. Grew up in Prosper, Texas. First pitch he sees outside for a ball, 1-0. You're a Texas guy. You familiar with Prosper?
I actually have a very good friend who's from Prosper, Texas. I wonder if they know each other.
Of course, Urigo out of West Texas A&M. 0-1 on the year with a 6.00 ERA. Checks the runner over at first. Comes set. The 1-0. Fastball swung on, a belting line drive right side over towards the bullpen of the Frogs, where there is what looks like a left-handed pitcher warming up out there. Or no, right-handed rather. Or starting to, at least. Falia will take a lead over at first. Aaron Pleschner squares in. Urigo gives him a look over at first. Comes set. Throws back to first. Falia slides back safely. Of course, the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders able to pick off a couple of batters earlier in this one. Aaron Pleschner comes into the game for the Bullfrogs today, batting .286. He's 0 for 2 on the day, however. Has been a bright spot in the lineup for the Frogs throughout this season. 1-1. Runs inside, 2-1. Of course, finds himself in the 2-hole in just about every single contest this year. Besides the ones, of course, when he sits out to get some rest. As you can imagine, 21 days in a row is not the easiest on the body. The 2-1 from Urigo comes in, swung on and missed. Evens the count 2-2. The Bullfrogs will travel to, or rather stay home tomorrow and then travel out to Wisconsin Rapids as they have a home and away against the South Division leaders and defending Northwoods League champions. The 2-2 offering. Swung on, a little blooper out into shallow right center field, and it will drop fair. Mikey Falia will round second and going from third. The throw from third, or from the outfield, not in time. Falia gets in under the tag, and the Bullfrogs have strung together a couple hits now after Aaron Pleschner manages a base hit and actually scampers on over to second base as well. So Mikey Falia at third now, and Aaron Pleschner grabs himself a hit for the Bullfrogs. It's the 4th of the day, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Troy Johnson, who digs in, the center fielder.
I was surprised to see Falia go for third right there. I mean, that was not a hard throw for the right fielder, definitely pushing the envelope. That could prove to be a big play for the Frogs down the road.
So Troy Johnson, the Gonzaga kid, squares in. So far on the day, 0 for 2. First pitch he sees. Fastball swung on, a little blooper off the middle of the field, and it gets in between the legs of Chris Cornelius at shortstop. Mikey Falia comes in to score, and Aaron Pleschner rounds third and comes across and stomps on home plate to give the Bullfrogs a 3-1 lead. The shortstop, Chris Cornelius, just loses concentration, and it just bounces in between his legs. And E6 will score 2 runs for the Frogs, and what looked like was going to be an easy out over at first, and then a fielder's choice RBI for the center fielder, Troy Johnston. Wow, the first error of the day for the Dock Spiders, and Tanner Poole will dig in now.
Talking earlier about how errors can affect a defense and affect a team, and I think we saw clearly how bad they can be for a team.
The Bullfrogs, of course, taking the lead now here in the bottom of the sixth, 3-1. It would have likely had been a run for the Frogs with no outs on the board. They likely would have thrown it over to first base to get Falia out, or rather Johnston out, and Falia comes across to score for a fielder's choice RBI. But it gets on between his legs, and Aaron Pleshner manages to round third and come in to score for the Frogs. 2 pitches go by Poole. He watches both of them, a ball and a strike, 1-1, no outs on the board, and Johnston standing over at first after the error. What a change of events. The Bullfrogs coming into the inning with just 2 hits on the entire day, but now have managed 2 in the inning, and with the help of an error, now have a 2-run lead, 3-1. Tanner Poole, the Mississippi State kid, stands in. The 1-1 offering to him is a fastball that runs outside, 2-1. You mentioned that the Bullfrogs are traveling off to, or rather will have a home and away series against the Rapids. That's a team that has been phenomenal this season here in the Northwoods League. Really the team to beat. They currently sit at first place in the South Division as the 2-1 offering comes inside and finds the zone 2-2 with the 17-3 record. The last time the Bullfrogs were swept by the Raptors, what'd you see in the contest?
They're a good ball club. I mean, I really don't know. It just seems like they play really well as a team. It seems like they've been playing really well for a while. I mean, you only lose 3 games in competitions like this, and, you know, you got to be doing something right. So definitely try again the next 2 days to have a second crack at it. But, I mean, they're definitely the team to beat in the Northwoods right now.
The 2-2 pitch comes by low for ball 3. A full count now with no outs on the board, and Troy Johnston standing over at first. Urigo comes set, the runner off from first. It's outside for ball 4, but Johnston will slide into second either way. Runners at first and second now will bring up Alex Pinner, the first baseman for the Frogs tonight, and Tanner Poole will be walked. He is now 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and an RBI. And the catcher is going to come out and have a word with Urigo, and so will the pitching coach of the Dock Spiders. There's no one warming up in the pen for the Dock Spiders. But what do you tell your pitcher here in this situation?
You know, it's frustrating because if you had that out earlier in the inning, that ground ball to shortstop, you're really 1 pitch away from being out of the inning right here, but nobody on, 2 men on. Or nobody out, 2 men on, I should say. Might be a little bit different in strategy. They may be giving somebody time in the bullpen to warm up. Doesn't look like anybody's up and throwing yet, but you just got to really be confident in your pitching right here. Tell them to just pound the zone with strikes, let the defense play. Sometimes they lose confidence in the defense behind them if there's an error made, and just have to reassure them.
So the meeting out on the mound has adjourned. The catcher Santana will run back behind the plate, and the pitching coach will go back into his seat. Of course, Chuck Thelman, the pitching coach for the Dock Spider. He takes his seat back over by the dugout. And Urigo stands in with 2 runners on, no outs on the board. The first pitch to Pinner comes inside for a ball, 1-0. Talked about the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors up next for the Bullfrogs. Although they're the hottest team in the league, they have lost 2 of their last 3. Of course, on a 15-game tear to start the season, the 1-0 finds the lower portion of the zone, 1-1. They'd win 15 straight, which would, of course, break a franchise record and would be second all-time in the Northwoods League.
I was just going to say that's a really good pitch right there by Urigo, throwing that down and in. That's definitely going to get you a ground ball if he makes contact there. Hard to put a bat on that one, though.
1-1, swung on, fouled away left side. 1-2 count now, no outs on the board, runners at first and second. The Raptors, of course, would tie the Green Bay Bullfrogs, actually, for second best winning streak in history. The best all-time would be 16 by the Mallards. So the Rapids 1 game out from making history here in the league. The 0-2 runs low, evens it up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bullfrogs would go on that tear back on their inaugural season 10 years ago, back in 07. Or 11 years ago, if you really count it out. Nonetheless, they would drop a game last night to the Woodchucks, or 2 nights ago to the Woodchucks, 4-2. Pinner takes a cut at the 2-2 pitch, but fouls it away right side. Will stay at 2-2. One of the hotter teams in the Northwoods League as well would be the Rockford Rivets, who of course sent just a couple of games ahead of the Bullfrogs. But with a sweep against the Frogs and then winning both their games today, they now are on a 4-game winning streak and sit at second in the South. The 2-2 pitch swung on a line drive right field that lands into the Liney's deck, just about 6 feet or so right of what would be fair play, and will stay at 2-2 there. A nice swing from Pinner trying to go up. The Rivets, however, despite their 4-game winning streak and good efforts, still sit 4 games back in the South. That is how far ahead the Raptors are. The 2-2 from Urigo is coming up. There it is. Fastball that runs outside, and Pinner works his way back into the count. Full count now.
I'd be surprised if Pinner didn't get a fastball right here. You're definitely not trying to load up the bases. So he's probably going to get something to hit right here with full count.
Zach Rapinski standing on deck for the Frogs. Urigo comes set. Gives a peek over to the runner at second and comes home. Payoff pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded right side. We'll redo the full count. After the trip for the home and home against the Rapids, the Bullfrogs will travel out to Rockford for the first time this season. The lone stadium that the Frogs have yet to take a visit to. Of course, they're a relatively new team to the league as well. The payoff pitch swung on, a line drive into left center field that drops fair. They're going to send in the runner from second, and he's rounding third. The throw into second base, not in time, and Alex Pinner belts a RBI double for the Frogs, and they take a 4-1 lead as Troy Johnson comes around to score for the Bullfrogs.
That was a great swing by Pinner right there, keeping his hands inside that inside fastball. Great 2-strike approach by the future Bulldog.
Zach Rapinski now due up for the Frogs. The right fielder gets the start into this one. Did set out the game earlier today, but he's been a nice little addition to the squad. It came in at a time when the Bullfrogs were short on outfielders. And he comes in and has batted .264 on the season, but 2 strikeouts on the day. First pitch he sees gets away from the catcher, Jason Santana, but he scrambles over to get it before any harm is done. It was well outside, 1-0. Of course, the Bullfrogs now with a plethora of outfielders with the addition of Felia, Jones, and Poole.
Doc Spider's going infield in right here. I find that's an interesting decision as they struggle to get outs, and the Bullfrogs are already up by 3. Hopefully it works out for them.
So Rapinski stands back in, the Nebraska guy. The 1-0 just runs inside. Rapinski leans away from it. 2 balls, no strikes here. No outs on the board. As Zach mentioned, infielders in here with 2 runners in scoring position at second and third. It's Pinner and Poole, respectively. 2-0 pitch runs low for ball 3. 3-0 count now with an out on the board and 2 runners on. Doc Spiders trail by 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1. The 3-0 right across the plate, 3-1. The Bullfrogs threatening here to tack on some more runs. The Doc Spiders would post 4 in the first game in the bottom of the 6th. They're looking for some here. Rapinski belts the 3-1 pitch out into left center field, and Tanner Poole comes across to score, and so does Alex Pinner. It's a 2 RBI single for Zach Rapinski, and it gives the Bullfrogs a 6-1 lead. Wow. Bullfrogs now with 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning in an inning that seems like everything's going right for them. Of course, you got to remember, This started all back with an E6 earlier in this one. That'll bring up Ben Hart, the third baseman. Of course, no outs still up on the board. First pitch he sees runs low. 1-0. Troy Johnston was likely going to bat into an out that would have gave some confidence to this Doc Spiders defense, but it just trickled between Chris Cornelius' legs, and that was kind of the start of it. There was 2 runners on at the time, and 2 runs would come across to score for the Bullfrogs off of the error. Since then, they've managed a walk, an RBI double, and now a 2 RBI single from Zach Rapinski, who stands over at first base. Ben Hart stands in, a fastball to him, comes by for a strike, a 1-1 count, as there is some movement in the bullpen for the Doc Spiders now. Ben Hart, the righty out of Oakland University, waves his lumber around. Throw back to first. Rapinski slides back safely. Hart batting .230 on the season, has kind of dropped off from starting off the year hot for the Frogs. Was at one time supporting the best batting average on the team. 1-1 pitch, swung on, a skyrocketed fly ball into left center field. Tracking back is the center fielder, and running to his right, Joe Bro makes the grab and finally puts the first out up on the board for the Spiders.
It's a big out there for Urego. He goes from having no outs and, letting up 5 runs in the inning to being a pitch away from getting out of it. So definitely glad to have that fly out there.
So a runner at first and 1 out on the board, and Zach Shoemaker, the catcher, comes up to the plate. He's struggling a bit at the plate this season, batting .107. The righty out of Lenore Ryan watches the first one go by. Throw back to first. Rapinski gets back safely as the first baseman, Mangieri, takes a tumble on top of Rapinski, actually, as he tripped back. Nonetheless, it seems like everyone's okay. 0-1 count.
See Santana right there making that snap throw to first. Sometimes as a catcher, you want to, see if you can get a cheap out somewhere on the base pass to speed up the inning. Urego's been out there for a while now, and he wants him to get him back in the dugout.
0-1 offering, and Shoemaker comes around on it. He thought he check swing. Home plate umpire says, you went around. Count moves to 0-2. Lenore Ryan, of course, out of Hickory, North Carolina. Shoemaker from that North Carolina state as well. 0-2. Swung on, a high pop-up behind the plate here, and Santana gets underneath of it and grabs it, and it's a pop-out foul ball off of Shoemaker that sends him back to the dugout. And now 2 outs in a row now for the Doc Spiders as Grant Frazier comes up to the plate. Now every Bullfrog has made a plate appearance in this inning. Frazier on the day 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts after having a multi-hit day earlier in Fond du Lac. Urego trying to get out of it here. Sends in a fastball that runs high, 1-0. As there is a left-handed pitcher warming up out in the bullpen for the Doc Spiders. Mikey Falia stands on deck. He started this inning out with a base hit and would come around to be the first run of a 5-run bottom of the 6th inning now. Bullfrogs lead 6-1. The 1-0 delivery. Runs inside and gets away from the catcher Santana, and Rapinski will easily jog on over to second base. And a runner in scoring position now for the Bullfrogs over at second after a pass ball gets past Santana. The sun has set here in Green Bay. The lights are on. A nice night for baseball. Nonetheless, here you go. deals the 2-0. That one's outside and gets low, and Rapinski sliding into third off of the pass ball. That one might be a wild pitch. It hits off the dirt, and Santana does a solid job of blocking it, but Rapinski's hot on his toes, and he manages to scamper on over to third base. And now a runner just 90 feet away from making this one a 7-1 ball game with 2 outs on the board.
Santana making a great play on getting a body on that ball right there. That was nowhere near the strike zone. Just a little bit too far away from him, though, to make the throw to third and get him out.
Nonetheless, that one goes by for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike now, 2 outs on the board. Rapinski at third. Urigo comes set, the righty, deals the 3-1. Check swing from Frazier. It's outside for ball 4, and Frazier gets on a base for the first time in this one. And Mikey Falia will come up to the plate for his second at-bat in the inning, but it looks like a pitching change will be made here in Green Bay as head coach Zach Charbonneau comes out, and it is the end of the day for Dominique Urigo. We're going to step aside for the pitching change. The Bullfrogs have a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs on the board and 2 runners on. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Bullfrogs Radio Network on the WOCO Sports Stream.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a brewpub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every brewpub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brewpub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today, 715-735-0583.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There is a pitching change for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. It'll be at number 10, Taylor Purris out of North Carolina. This past season, the Dock Spider played his college ball at Western Carolina. Just finished up his junior season. He's a stocky guy out there, 6', 200. Left-handed hurler so far this season for the Dock Spiders, supporting an 0-1 record and a 13.5 ERA. He's pitched 5 1/3 innings, allowing 9 hits and striking out 6 along the way. His last time up against Lakeshore a few nights ago, he would pitch an inning and a third, allow 3 earned runs for 4 hits and 1 strikeout. So the first batter he'll face here in the bottom of the 6th inning will be Mikey Falia, the left fielder out of UC Irvine. It's his second time up in this inning. His last time in this inning, he would start things out with a hit, which at the time would be just the 3rd hit of the day for the Frogs, but they're all the way up to 6 now. The righty stands in out of Irvine. Runners stand at the corners. Rapinski over at third. Frazier at first after the walk. First pitch he throws to Falia is inside for a ball, a 1-0. Bullfrogs have 6 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors, and the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders with 1 run on 7 hits. Bullfrogs managing to leave runners stranded throughout the game. The 1-0. Fastball that finds the zone, 1-1. Purris out there on the mound now for the Dock Spiders, respectively. Just as a reminder, you can follow along on Twitter at GB Bullfrogs. Follow us on Instagram at GB Bullfrogs. The 1-1. Just low in the zone. 1-2. And of course, you can search us on Facebook. All you got to do is look up Green Bay Bullfrogs. Easy enough. Nonetheless, 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on. First and third. Filia stands in. 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a run. 2 runs, in fact. The 1-2 swung on, fouled back into the backstop here. A 1-2 count. Couple of Dark Spiders fans here in Green Bay. Again, it's a scattered crowd here in the bleacher seating, but some nice fans, a good amount of fans in the club seating here tonight. And some fans out in the Liney's Deck and the beer garden out in left field, the Bud Light Beach Club. The 1-2. Swung on, fouled away right side behind the clubhouse. Bullfrogs, of course, coming off of a sweep against the Rockford Rivets where they dropped some close ones. They would have the lead and then going into the top of the 9th inning, but the Rockford Rivets would sneak away with the victory. The 1-2 pitch. Low and in the dirt. 2-2. That's got to be a heartbreaker if you're a player, especially when you're on such a long tear. You've lost the first game of the series to the Rivets at home, and then you lose the next one after you're down going into the 9th.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, going out and losing 1 game in a day is bad enough, but to lose 2 that's just cruel.
On 2-2 count here, 2 outs on the board. The 2-2 delivery comes across, slow and in the dirt. 3-2. Of course, that's what would happen to the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders if they lose this one tonight, as they lost the game earlier today 6-5. So it tough, and as Plunkett said, tough enough that the Bullfrogs lose one a couple of days ago, but for the Dock Spiders, who coming into the game were relatively hot, they had won 5 of their last 5, dropped the contest at home on a dreary day that turned relatively nice, and then here trail 6-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. A full count to Mikey Filia here with 2 runners on. The payoff pitch runs inside for ball of 4, and the base is loaded now for the Bullfrogs. That'll bring up Aaron Pleshner, the shortstop, who managed a base hit and a run earlier in this inning. Aaron Pleshner comes into the at-bat supporting a .295 batting average. A hit here would put him over that 300 mark. But Mikey Filia gets on base for the 2nd time in the inning. It's his 2nd walk of the day as well. He's now 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a run. So Aaron Pleshner digs in now. 2 outs up on the board and the base is loaded. The first pitch Pleshner sees. Fastball goes by for a ball and 1-0.
Kind of surprised the umpire didn't call that one for a strike there. Usually in innings like this where it seems like a team can't get the out, umpire might start expanding the zone a little bit, trying to help the pitcher out, but not this guy.
The 1-0 comes across, swung on a ground ball to the second baseman, Lewis. A throw over to first, and the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders get out of the inning. But the Bullfrogs put 5 on the board. The Fond du Lac Spiders leave 3 stranded. The Bullfrogs lead 6-1 here after 6 frames. On to the 7th inning we go. The Bullfrogs with a commanding 6-1 lead. Stay tuned. You're listening to WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
We've heard it time and time again. You want local loan decisions and servicing, faster turnaround, and answers to your questions handled right here in Oconto. At the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, we've got all of those bases covered, from local loan decisions and on-time closings to great rates and fair terms. Visit me, Bob Schwartz, at the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. I've helped many people, and now I'd like to help you with your next loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin here at Joanne Stadium. The Bullfrogs take a 6-1 lead after 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up now for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders will be the 9-hole hitter, Alex Ronnebaum, the third baseman, of course, out of the University of Arkansas. Teammates with the pitcher out on the mound, Noah Miller. First pitch he throws is outside for a ball, 1-0. And, of course, teammates with my broadcast partner for the day, Zach Plunkett.
Ronnebaum, one of my good buddies at Arkansas this past spring. He's actually the only guy I have ever known that routinely practices his home run trot after every run of BP. I mean, it's impressive, but I will say that it is a big league trot.
I mean, if to be that good, you got to practice it, don't you?
I mean, he's playing like that today. I mean, he's had 5 hits total, something like that.
I think so. Ronnebaum, of course, managed 3 hits in the last contest, and then so far on the afternoon has a hit to his name as well. A 2-1 offering towards him is a breaking ball that he fouls off into his leg. And that one's got to hurt. He's going to take a walk on it as well. 2-2. As a reminder, you can follow along on Twitter at GB Bullfrogs. Nonetheless, Ronnebaum, of course, out of Arkansas, stands in, struggling this season for the Dock Spiders, but yet having a good day, as we just mentioned, a batting 190 coming into the at-bat. First pitch he sees outside for a ball, full count now. So a full count, no outs on the board. Arkansas showdown. Payoff pitch swung on. Ground ball right side, and that's another base hit for Ronnebaum. He continues his good play here against the Bullfrogs. He's got a base hit in this bottom, or rather top of the 7th inning, and he gets on over to first base. It's the 8th hit of the day for the Dock Spiders, but yet just 1 run.
It's one of those days for Ronnebaum. The baseball's looking like a beach ball probably. He just seems like no matter what he does, he's going to get on base today.
So that'll bring up the leadoff hitter now, A.J. Lewis, the second baseman, who's 0 for 2 on the day, despite leading this team in batting average. He shows bunt but misses. Throwback to first in time. Zach Shoemaker pops up, launches one over to Pinner, and he makes the tag for the first out. Ronnebaum caught. Shoemaker quick on his feet there, launches one over there.
Kind of surprised to see Lewis show bunt right there, down 6-1. You'd figure that he'd just stand in there and, go toe-to-toe with Miller, trying to, knock a double in the gap and score a run here. But he's taking a different angle at it today, I suppose.
So 1-0 offering. Just misses the zone. A nice breaking ball from Miller. 1-1 with 1 out on the board.
Nonetheless, a heads-up play there by Zach to catch Ronnebaum out on his right leg and off balance and throw him out back at first base.
So a 2-1 count here. Delivery swung on. Fly ball right field. Tracking to his left is Rapinski. Diving. Can't make the play, and it falls fair. Rounding second is A.J. Lewis, and he will actually stay at second, but he took a pause. Now he's in between the bases, but nobody's there to grab him. He could have probably easily gotten over to third on that one, as Rapinski had dove to try to make the play, and the ball got all the way into the corner out there in right field by the Liney's deck, but instead he's going to stay at second base. That could have been a triple for Lewis, most likely.
It's a tough ball to read there for the runners. You're rounding first to see what's happening in the right field corner. He probably thought that had he not caught the ball, it would have knocked down right in front of him, but it actually skipped back into the corner. Break for the Bullfrogs as they keep the guy at second versus advancing to third.
So a runner in scoring position now with one out on the board for the Dock Spiders. You mentioned during the break that Miller's still out on the bump here for the Frogs despite sitting out after that long inning. Do you think that has any effect?
Absolutely. I mean, pitchers, it's big for them to, stay warm. And so for him to sit on the bench for 20 or 30 minutes while his offense is out there scoring 5 runs, it's, he's glad to see it because he's probably going to get the win out of it. But it's tough for him to come back out here and, stay in the groove that he's in.
So Miller comes set, deals the 1-0. That one finds the zone. Count moves to singles across. 1 out, 1 ball, and 1 strike here. And the number 1 batter up to the plate. Colton Neal, of course, supporting the Uno jersey. 1-1 offering. Breaking ball that swung on and fouled off. 1-1. So a 1-2 count here, 1 out on the board. A.J. Lewis takes the lead from second. Miller deals the 1-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Miller grabs just his 3rd strikeout of the night, but he's pitched well out there for the Bullfrogs, leaving many a runner stranded throughout the contest. 2 outs on the board now. He's looking to leave another one stranded as A.J. Lewis stands over at 3rd.
It's a great pitch by Miller right there. Just great at bat for him to come back after what seemed like a bloop double and strike the next guy out on his 96th pitch.
That one swung on, a fly ball right field over towards the bullpen of the Frogs. Alex Penner tracking over there, and he makes the basket catch for the 3rd out. The Bullfrogs leave one stranded over at second. That'll do it for the top of the 7th inning. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Go grab some popcorn, maybe a Coke, possibly a cold one. I'm not going to judge. It's Tuesday night. Nonetheless, we'll be back for the bottom of the 7th after this. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Who do I perform for? I perform for all the awesome composers whose music deserves to be heard.
I perform for all the stagehands who make sure I never miss a cue.
I perform for our high school choir director, who taught me to breathe from the diaphragm and sing from the heart.
Speech, debate, theater, music. The performing arts teach valuable life lessons that typically aren't taught in the classroom. They help high school students learn leadership skills that prepare them to enjoy more satisfying, productive lives.
I perform for Mrs. Evans, my high school debate coach, who has helped me become more confident than I ever dreamed possible.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the high school in your community.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Who will you perform for?
Welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, about to get underway here with the bottom of the 7th inning. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. The Frogs put 5 runs across in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Bullfrogs leave one stranded in the top half of the 7th inning. So bottom of the 7th now, and due up for the Bullfrogs will be Troy Johnston. Troy Johnston out of Gonzaga University. He comes set. His last inning would get on base due to an error. It was that error that was hit directly to Chris Cornelius at second base, and it went, or rather shortstop, and it went right between his legs, and the Bullfrogs would score 2 runs off of it. That would start the 5-run bottom of the 6th, and the Bullfrogs would not look back. They would go on to tack on 3 more runs, of course, as they posted 5 throughout the inning. Johnson takes a cut at the 1-0 pitch. It's a fly ball into shallow center field, just on the outfield grass. The shortstop Cornelius gets underneath of it and grabs it for the first down. So that'll bring up the cleanup hitters. Tanner Poole, the outfielder out of Mississippi State. He comes set here, bottom of the 7th inning. 1 out on the board. Nobody on after the fly out to the shortstop. First pitch Poole sees comes across for a ball. 1-0. 1-0 offering, runs low. 1-1 count now. 2-0 count, of course. With nobody on, Alex Pinner on deck. Tanner Poole, the designated hitter, stands in here on his debut day. 2-0 pitch, finds the zone, 2-1. Of course, played earlier today in Fond du Lac, where he would be crowned the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game. But still on his first day in a Bullfrogs uniform, getting playing time. Of course, has been here for a few days now. As the 2-1 offering runs low, 2-2. But sat out the first couple of games. Of course, got to get used to Green Bay, your host family, and all the other things that come with playing summer ball. Of course, managed the day off as well. And he got the start, of course, in the last game out in right field. And then gets the start at designated hitter today, or rather this afternoon, after having a phenomenal first game. 2-2 pitch runs low, full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out on the board, nobody on. The pitcher Purvis comes set, rocks and deals. The payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Poole goes down swinging. That's his second strikeout of the day. That'll bring up Alex Pinner, the first baseman. He is 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI. Joined, of course, by Green Bay Bullfrog catcher Zach Plunkett. Zach, you've been here for about 21 days or so. What would you say was the hardest part to, get used to here in Green Bay? Whether that was your host family, the long days, just a different city. What would you say is the toughest part to get used to in summer ball as the 0-1 pitch goes by?
I'd say the toughest part for me this summer is definitely, just getting into the groove of playing every day. I mean, it's not easy. You definitely have to learn how to manage your body between how much sleep you're getting, what you're eating, how much you're stretching, rehabbing, things like that. To really be able to prepare yourself to be playing every day. I mean, it's not easy, especially as a catcher. I know catchers aren't typically asked to catch more than, 2 days in a row, but I know some of my teammates out there who, Pleshner, say, he's played almost every game. And, he's playing, middle infield, and, it's not easy for him to show up every day to the yard, mentally prepared even to get out there on the field and kill it. But that's definitely one of the things you have to get used to and learn.
The righty, Alex Pinner, or rather switch hitter, I should say, batting righty against the left-handed pitcher here. The 3-1 offering to him. Runs high for ball 4. The Bullfrogs with their first base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. Comes off of a walk from Purvis. So that'll bring up Zach Rapinski, who is 1 for 3 on the day with a 2 RBI single in this last inning.
I think it's funny you mentioned host families earlier, though. I know a lot of guys, myself included, one of the most nerve-wracking parts about showing up to summer ball is, meeting the family that you're going to be living with for, a couple months out of the year. And, fortunately, I got lucky enough to have the Cumbers host me, and, I'm very grateful to them. They've been incredible. But that's definitely one of the worries that you have coming into summer ball is, you hear the horror stories of guys. My freshman year, I showed up in Alaska and I was mowing the ladies' yard the first day. And we were picking weeds and, all sorts of stuff. So, there's always those situations, but, nonetheless, you're getting to play baseball every day. So it's not too bad of a deal either way.
Rapinski fouls off the 0-1 pitch. He's down to the count 0-2 with 2 outs on the board. That's one of the things that I think is most interesting about summer ball is the host family situation. It's an opportunity for host families to feel like more connected with the community. If they have kids, they can look up to these guys that come in and, you get to live with a college baseball player for the summer. You hear stories about, athletes and host families that have stayed in touch from years to come, and stories about people being invited to weddings and whatnot. It's a lifelong bond is what is preached to the families and whatnot. As the 1-2 pitch runs inside, deuces across now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, and a runner at first. Did it end up better in Alaska? Did you have to mow the lawn every day?
I mean, it was a pretty consistent thing. I probably mowed the yard upwards of a dozen times over the course of a summer, which you're playing every day. It's hard to find time to cut the grass as well. So
no kidding. Burris deals in the 2-2 pitch, and it's a backwards K. And Rapinski will walk back to the dugout. He's got the hat trick now. That's his 3rd strikeout of the day. That'll do it for the 7th inning. Bullfrogs just need to hold on for 2 more frames. On to the 8th we go. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Joe Annie Stadium here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, joined by Green Bay Bullfrogs catcher Zach Plunkett. We're about to get underway with the top of the 8th inning. The Bullfrogs 6 out away from sweeping the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in this home and home doubleheader. If you're just joining us, the Bullfrogs would go down first in the contest as the Dock Spiders managed to get a run across in the top of the 1st inning. The Frogs would answer with a run of their own in the bottom half of that inning, but then a 5-run bottom of the 6th inning brings us to where we are now as the Bullfrogs have a 6-1 lead off of 6 hits and 3 errors. In the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, they've got more hits than the Frogs. They have 9 on the day and have committed 2 errors. 2 runs have come across because of those errors as well. But the Bullfrogs have done a phenomenal job of leaving runners stranded. And, of course, they haven't walked very many runners either. Miller would walk just 1 batter his entire time out on the mound. His day is done as Scott Gorsuch out on the mound for the Bullfrogs now. Miller allowing 9 hits, just 1 earned run, and would toss 2 strikeouts in 7 innings out there for the Frogs. And so Scott Gorsuch will dig in, or rather toe the rubber now for the Frogs out of Whitewater, Wisconsin. Plays his college ball for UW Oshkosh. Has pitched 10 innings, allowing 9 earned runs, and has 13 strikeouts to his name to go along with 10 walks as well. Tosses the first one into Luke Mangieri, and it doesn't find the zone, 1-0. But your teammate Noah Miller had a solid day, would you say?
I would say so, and I'm a little biased, but I got to brag on Noah for a second. You don't give up 9 hits and only 1 run without being a little tough on the mound. So props to him for being pretty mentally strong out there and, working around those 3 errors that his defense gave him. But overall, just an awesome performance by him tonight.
The 1-0 pitch goes outside for a ball, so first 2 pitches that Gorsuch throws is outside. So a 2-0 count. His 3rd pitch is outside as well as he tries to get comfortable out there on the bump for the Frogs. A 3-0 count with no outs on the board. The Bullfrogs elect not to bring Noah Miller on the road trip this morning, so he gets a little bit of rest, unlike all the rest of the guys. So he had a little bit of an advantage than everyone else. Got to sleep in this morning, unlike the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, everybody gave him a pretty hard time this morning in the locker room for not having to, wake up early with us and you sit through the rain on the bus and whatnot. So, but at least he was, relaxed and ready to go for tonight. So he definitely earned his rest this morning.
Ball 4 goes across outside, and Mangieri will get a free base over at first. It's the second runner that the Bullfrogs have walked in this one, and the first one from Gorsuch. That will bring in Eric Gillenbach. He digs in, the righty. First pitch he sees, fastball that he check swings at, but makes contact over to Gorsuch. A toss over to Pinner, and he makes the grab. Pinner had ran into the infield grass to try to grab that one, and then realized, I need to get back. So he backpedals and just beats out the runner and Gillenbach as he steps on the bag about 2 steps or so before Gillenbach can get there. So first out up on the board after the check swing little connection that was made there.
Yeah, not the prettiest play there, kind of awkward looking, but that's what you get with these summer ball teams. You don't get much time to practice together as a team, so when it comes to doing things like pitchers fundamentals or, rundowns, things like that, it can get kind of sloppy, but, you just got to hope that you get the job done. Everybody's schools teach it, slightly different ways, but just glad they got the job done there for the first out.
Joe Bro, the center fielder, will now dig in for the Dock Spiders. I think arguably one of the better names in the Northwoods League. Joe Bro digs in and watches the first one go by for a ball, a 1-0. I forget what team it was. There was a pitcher, I think it might have been Wisconsin Rapids, where the pitcher's name was Slinger. Can't think of a better name for a right-handed hurler. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Or how about this morning's game? The pitcher's last name is Bach. That's kind of a bad omen.
There was a couple of balks called in that game as well, one against each team. Just 2 of the 4 we've seen all summer. The 1-1. Outside for a strike, just finds the black, 1-2 with 1 out on the board. Joe Bro comes in the game for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, supporting a .227 batting average out of McLennan Community College. We've seen that name, McLennan Community College, a few times this season. As the 1-2 pitch is swung on, it's a bouncer to Ben Hart, and he drops it on the transfer. And so Joe Bro will get over to first safely because of it. Joe Hart trying to make the long throw over to first as he tries to transfer it from his glove hand into his throwing hand. It just kind of gets away from him there. E5. The 4th error of the day against the Frogs. The second against Ben Hart as he adjusts back to third base. And he's kind of been all over the infield for the Frogs this season, playing second, playing third, and, of course, designated hitter a few times as well.
It's probably not easy to adjust position to position like that when you're, mixing it up every day, what spot you're playing at. But not really a tough play there. He's trying to be a little too quick on the transfer, and that's why the ball got away from him over there at third.
Chris Cornelius digs in now for the Dock Spiders. Watches the first one go by for a strike. The 0-1 delivery from Gorsuch is outside. Shoemaker manages to get over and stop that one, 1-1. Cornelius, of course, out of the University of Missouri. Just finished up his freshman season. He's from St. Louis, Missouri as well. The 1-1. Outside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike now, and out on the board. Runners on the corners. Both bullpens remain cold. Cornelius digs in, supporting a .259 batting average on the season. The 2-1 pitch fouled off into the backstop. 2-2 count now, as Gorsuch gets one back. Scott Gorsuch, a guy that started out the year on a temporary contract for the Bullfrogs. Pitched 4 innings in a game against the Kalamazoo Growlers. He deals in a 2-2 breaking ball that just misses the zone. A good pitch from him. Moves it to a full count. But he would pitch well in that contest. The Bullfrogs would go on to win. It was the 14-inning showdown, and really played his way onto the full roster. 3-2 pitch fouled away. Will stay at full. He's a guy that got to stick around, and Kyle Bino's another guy who has managed to stick around in Green Bay after coming off a temporary contract. Bino, of course, leads the team in home runs with 4. The payoff. Inside for ball 4, and that will load the bases. So runners at first and second now. And third, of course. A force out at any base, and the infielders will creep in here as Jason Santana digs in. What are you looking for here if you're the Bullfrogs?
You know, he's not had the start to the inning that he's wanted, but in this situation, you just got to pound the zone for strikes. I mean, I keep saying it again and again, but that's been a recurring theme so far this summer. You know, just got to keep going to the zone, especially when you've got a 5-run lead. I mean, they could literally, worst case scenario, hit a home run right here, and you still have the lead. So obviously you hope that that doesn't happen, but you just got to go back to the zone right here, as he did on the first strike.
So an 0-1 count now after the first fastball. Bases loaded. The 0-1 delivery is a breaking ball that just misses the zone. Another good pitch from Gorsuch that's just a tad outside. 1-1 here with an out on the board. Mangieri standing over at third, Joe Bro at second, and Cornelius at first. The 1-1. Swung on. It's a chopper to the third baseman, Hart. Throw to home is in time, so they get the lead runner on at home. A nice play from Ben Hart, heads-up play to get that second out, and the bases remain loaded, but Mangieri can't beat out the throw from Hart. Shoemaker nearly got his foot off the bag there, but the Bullfrogs get that first out. Is that the right play?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, when you have the opportunity to save a run, no matter what the score is, you got to do that. I mean, he had no opportunity for a double play, so I think, you know, the ball pulled him in, so his momentum was going for. I mean, that's the right call. But now you got Ronnebaum coming up with bases loaded, and he's been hot all day.
Ronnebaum, as you mentioned, hot all day, 2 for 3 on this day today. And earlier this afternoon would support a 3 for 4 day, where he would belt a double, an RBI, and come around to score as well. Of course, coming into the contest, he was absolutely struggling, had an on-base percentage of just 179. But having a phenomenal day against the Bullfrogs. Of course, playing against his 2 teammates, I'm sure he's trying to show off for him. Watches the first one go by for a strike. It's 0-1 count here. 2 outs on the board. Bases loaded. A base hit would tack on a couple for the Dock Spiders and put them into striking distance. The 0-1. Swung on, found away left side. 0-2.
It's kind of funny. We were all at the Brewers game yesterday, and me and Noah were kind of poking fun at him for his batting average and the rough start he's had of the year. And I think with that last hit, he's actually passed me. So I have nothing else to say about him.
You guys put a fire under him. And it showed. He's had a phenomenal day. The lefty stands in. Gorsuch delivers. 0-2 offering outside. 1 for 2. The Frogs have done a fantastic job today, leaving runners on base. Of course, 9 hits on the day for the Dock Spiders and just 1 run. An opportunity to leave 3 here. The 1-2. Breaking ball that runs outside. 2-2. Scott Gorsuch in a little bit of a bind here, but has the ability to try to get out of it. Deuces across. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. The 2-2 delivery. Fastball swung on. Ground ball to Hart at third. Grabs it and steps on the third base bag for the third out. Gorsuch leaves the bases loaded, and the Bullfrogs leave 3 more stranded. That'll do it for the top of the 8th inning. The Bullfrogs just need 3 more outs to escape with the doubleheader sweep over the Dock Spiders. They lead 6-1. On to the bottom of the 8th we go. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
7 Well and Pump Service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 well and pump service. Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Hello, welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Joanne Stadium, Bullfrogs lead the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6-1. It's the first time that the Dock Spiders have ever traveled to Green Bay. If you're not familiar with the Northwoods League, they were one of the 2 expansion teams for this season. Of course, they joined the South Division, and the Bismarck Larks of North Dakota joined the North Division. Both of the teams have not played all that bad this year, especially if you think of the fact that, of course, it's their first year in the league. The Bismarck Larks are 10-12, and of course the Dock Spiders at 8-12.
What is a lark?
A lark is a type of bird, and the only reason I know that is because I know what the logo looks like. It's one of my personal favorites. If you just look at the logos here, it's this gray and yellow bird holding a baseball bat.
That's pretty cool.
But I'm still going to have to give the best logo in the league to probably, I don't know, it's a tough one.
There's some pretty out there mascots for some of these teams. I mean, the Bullfrogs is one of those, but I mean, you've got a rivet. I mean, that's a piece of metal.
Ben Hart up now for the Frogs. He watches the first one go outside for a ball. That one looked like it slipped out of the hands of the pitcher out there, Purus. The 1-0 offering. Breaking ball that misses the zone. 2-0. I think I'm going to have to either give my favorite logo to the Growlers. Of course, it has Kalamazoo Growlers, and you can see the skyline of Western Michigan up there. 2-0 pitch runs high, 3-0. Or the St. Cloud Rocks. Big fan of the minor-looking guy with his little pick there and some coal.
That's pretty cool. I do like that one.
3-0 offering, breaking ball. That one finds the zone. 3-1. My least favorite, and for any of you fans listening from this team, take it with a grain of salt, please, but it's only because of the tongue twister. The 3-1. Fastball that runs low. Ball 4. Ben Hart gets over to first safely. The Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. It is not easy to say. And as a broadcaster, you're sitting there and you're trying to go through the names quickly, and because of the last name of the city is Rapids, you kind of shorten it to the Wisconsin Rapids as if the team's name is Wisconsin and the nickname is Rapids. But of course, they have figured something out because obviously they lead the South Division and are the defending champions. Nonetheless, Zach Shoemaker will dig in after the walk from Hart. First pitch he sees, fastball, and runs high. 1-0 count now. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. One-0 count, no outs on the board. Ben Hart stands over at first. Grant Frazier is on deck. Neither teams have anybody warming up in the bullpen. Or rather, the Frogs have just got some movement going. I spoke too soon. 1-0 pitch down below the zone there. 2 balls and no strikes. As we take a look at the scoreboard, of course, there was 5 doubleheaders today, as there were 10 teams yesterday that did not have games. And so all of those that sat out yesterday do have doubleheaders today. The 2-0 pitch comes across for a strike, which is well needed. Of course, the Dock Spiders coming off of 4 days where they played 2 doubleheaders, as they had a doubleheader against the Chinooks this past weekend. 2-1 pitch swung on, ground ball up the middle of the field. The shortstop manages to stop it from getting into the outfield. No, actually, he slides underneath of it. And so Zach Shoemaker grounds one up the middle of the field, and now 2 runners on for the Frogs as they have a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A nice attempt from the shortstop Cornelius, but he can't get there, and the Bullfrogs put 2 runners on. Shoemaker with a base hit here.
Popular saying, game knows. Zach had a ball, pretty hard hit ball today in the. You good? He had a pretty hard hit ball today. I think his first at bat that got taken away from him by the center fielder, and there he has kind of a seeing eye single up the middle, so it all works itself out in the end.
So Grant Frazier digs in now, the righty out of Ocano. He's the local guy. First pitch he sees, he swings at it. The ground ball to the shortstop Cornelius. Steps on the bag, throws to first. A nice play by the shortstop there to get to the double play for the 6-3 double play. Cornelius was due one for there. He laid out for that ground ball from Shoemaker, but just missed it. But wouldn't make a mistake there. Of course, Cornelius had an error earlier in the game that would go between his legs, and it would result in 2 runs for the Frogs. It was a part of that 5-run bottom of the 6th inning. And so he was due for a good play. He gets the double play there. So 2 outs on the board now for Falia, with a runner over at third base and Ben Hart as he manages to get over there after the double play. Falia stands in, the righty from Irvine. The 1-0 delivery runs low in the dirt. A solid job by the catcher, Santana, to stop that one. 2-0. So Shoemaker manages a base hit on the day. Of course, he's been struggling a little bit at the plate, but of recent has had some better games. Of course, was batting below .050 at one point. The 2-0. Swung on, a little blooper in the right field. That will drop fair. It'll be an RBI single for Mikey Falia. He has had an absolute fantastic start to his short tenure here in Green Bay. Of course, just his 3rd game in a Bullfrogs uniform. In his debut, he would be named the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game after going 4 for 5. And then earlier today managed a multi-hit game. Found himself in the leadoff spot here today, and now is 2 for 3 with 2 walks and an RBI now. As Ben Hart comes across to score, it gives the Bullfrogs a 7-1 lead. First pitch that the new batter Pleshner sees goes by for a ball, a 1-0.
It's been a good day for the Bullfrogs all in all, taking home what we can assume to be 2 wins, but I think even better than that, just seeing the new guys that we have coming in really using the stick and just, not wasting any time, putting runs up on the board. I think that's a huge positive to see going forward as we go into the Rapids Raptors series, as you mentioned earlier.
Throw back to first, Falia back safely. Just has to walk back. No rush. 1-0 count with 2 outs on the board. Would you say, not to put you on the hot seat, of course, but when you have new guys come in that play well, do you feel as a player that's been here for a while, feel more pressure to play better?
They're outfielders, so I don't think they're going to get behind the dish and catch. That's not too easy. But, it definitely makes you want to step your game up because, there's guys that are producing.
And the 1-0 pitch gets away from the catcher, Santana. So Falia takes a large lead to see if he can steal. And the catcher, Santana, pops up and throws it back over to first. And the first baseman, Mangieri, is able to place the tag on Falia, who is caught between the base paths. That's the second time that's happened to him today. Of course, he's got to get a feel for some base running here, of course, in Green Bay. Granted, just his 3rd game out in a Frogs uniform. So give him a break on this one as the Bullfrogs have a 7-1 lead off of the...
Dahl and Paul Huberty will be there to help you adjust your insurance game plan with a free family insurance checkup. So for all your insurance needs, call on a winner. State Farm agents Margie Dahl at 834-5151 and Paul Huberty at 829-5555.
Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin here, about to get underway with the top of the ninth inning where the Bullfrogs are staring down a doubleheader sweep over the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. They're going to have to get past the meat of the lineup, however, as it's the leadoff man, A.J. Lewis, starting things out for the Spiders. He comes into the contest supporting a batting average of .372. He's 2 for 4 on the day with a run. First pitch he sees, fastball outside, 1-0. The Frogs with a 7-1 lead, however, here in the top of the ninth inning. They would tie things up after going down 1-0 back all the way in the first inning, but then a 5-run bottom of the fifth gives them a 6-1 lead, and then, of course, they get one across off of the RBI single from Mikey Falia in the bottom of the eighth inning. That brings us to where we are now, 1-7. Top of the eighth, A.J. Lewis ahead in the count, 2-0. Scott Gorsuch still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs here as he tosses in another one, 3-0 with no outs on the board. Nolan Knight here, of course, joined by Bullfrogs catcher Zach Plunkett. Gorsuch kicks and sends in the 3-0 pitch. It's inside for a strike, 3-1.
Gorsuch not off to the best start here this inning with throwing 3 balls in a row, but I have a feeling the coaches are going to let him work this out. I mean, up by 6. This is a good time to let a pitcher really establish his role and throw some strikes.
3-1 pitch, ground ball over to Ben Hart, and he makes up for a couple errors he's had in this one. A long throw over to first is in time, beats out A.J. Lewis by a couple of steps, and the Bullfrogs now 2 outs away from grabbing the victory. That'll bring up Colton Neal, the left fielder. Neal on the day is 1 for 3 with a base, or rather a walk. It's something that we have mentioned a couple times in the broadcast here. But, of course, 9 hits on the day for Fond du Lac, but just 1 run.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, I've been trying to keep track of runners left on base in my head, but I mean, we've got to have broken some kind of record. I mean, leaving them loaded last inning, and I think 2 on the inning before that. I mean, there's just no way that, you know, you allow 9 hits and only 1 run. I don't see how that happens.
The 1-0 offering swung on. A barehanded play from Pleshner. The throw to first is not in time, but tip your hat off from the San Jose State kid as it's a chopper up the middle of the field. Pleshner barehands it and launches one to first, but it's not in time. He's impressed me throughout this season for his defensive skills.
Yeah, he's been pretty good over there at shortstop. He's one of those guys that you look up the middle and, you know, you see him in the lineup and, you know that you're going to get some solid play out of him. So, you know, that play obviously isn't on him. That ball just bounced a little bit too high, kind of a bloop infield hit.
First pitch that the new batter Brandon Wolf sees is outside, 1-0. Bullfrogs now with a runner on base over at first with 1 out to go, with 1 out up on the board and a 1-0 count. Brandon Wolf, the designated hitter today, watches that one go by for a ball, 2-0 count now. Of course, 2 9-inning games today, whereas normally if you would play a double-header at the same stadium, it would be 2 7s. But here, since it's a home and a home, it's 2 9s. 2-0 pitch swung on, a fly ball deep into right field. Tracking back is the right fielder, Zach Rapinski, and it's off the wall. They're going to hold up the runner at third, and it's a stand-up double for the designated hitter, Brandon Wolf. Stands in and launches one deep into right field. I thought it might get over the wall, but it hits the Meyer sign square in the middle of that concrete wall out there in right field, and Rapinski has to throw it in to keep anyone from scoring. And so with 1 out on the board, the Dock Spiders with a little life now with a runner at second and third.
Yeah, Rapinski does a pretty good job out there in right field and not letting that ball bounce off that concrete wall too far. Usually the runner would score on a double from first base, but, you know, when you're down by 6 runs, you're going to be pretty conservative.
The first pitch that the new batter Luke Mangieri sees is inside for a ball, 1-0. The Bullfrogs went down a run in the game earlier today, looking to come back, or rather hold on to this one when they were down 1-0 earlier. Of course, 2 days ago, or I guess it would be 3 days if you count the, I guess it would be 2 days if you count the off day.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the Frogs would be down by 4 runs against the Rockford Rivets, would come back to take the lead, but would fall in that contest. So far, the largest deficit the Bullfrogs have come back from this season to win is just 1 run. Runners in scoring position at second and third with 1 out on the board. Mangieri watches the 1-1 go by outside. 2-1 count here. 1 out on the board. Top of the 9th inning. Bullfrogs 2 outs away from the sweep. Mangieri, the Bradley University product, stands in. Left-handed hitter. Swings at the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball left side and foul territory. Lands out of play over towards the deflated bouncy house here. Not sure what happened to it today. But the Frogs are going to have to try to look into that and see if they can fix for tomorrow. As, of course, they will be back here tomorrow to face off against the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters for Game 1 of the second series against them. It'll be just the second team that they would play for the second time. Of course, the only other team being the Madison Mallards that they have played twice. The 2-2 inside for ball 3, full count now. I'm forgetting some contest, I think. Of course, we played the Growlers twice already this season as well. I don't think there's any other teams, though.
So I looked down in the bounce house. I noticed that there's an open flame in left field foul territory, and I really don't think that's safe. But, you know, if the Northwood says it's okay, I guess.
Of course, a nice beach club, Bud Light Beach Club area out there. There's a beach with some beach chairs, and there's a nice little campfire out there. So as it gets a little chilly here on the Wisconsin nights, you can warm up out there.
Is that a real fire?
It is in fact. I think it's gas, though. But nonetheless, a fire's a fire. And the bases are loaded, however, as ball 4 comes in, and the bases are loaded here in Green Bay. Eric Gillenbach will dig in, the right fielder. He's 0 for 4 on the day, so he's due. With that being said, the Dock Spiders with some life here. Bases loaded, top of the 9th with 1 out on the board. It looks like there's a little bit of movement in the bullpen now for the Frogs. As Gillenbach batting just .169 on the season, however. Gorsuch delivers the 1-0, finds the zone, swing and a miss, 1-1. Bullfrogs trying to hold on here in front of this crowd. I'd say probably around 800 or so, if you count all of those that were here earlier. Of course, as we have reached 10 o'clock now, some have gone home. It's a Tuesday night. Nonetheless, 2-1 count now, 1 out on the board. Bases loaded. Gorsuch takes a deep breath and delivers. 2-1 pitch, fouled away. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on the board. Runners at first, second, and third. A right-hander warming up out in the pen for the Frogs. They're 2 outs away from their just second sweep of the year. 2-2 pitch outside for ball 3. A full count now with an out on the board. Gorsuch comes set, takes a deep breath, takes a peep at the runner at third, sends in the payoff. Swung on and popped up here on top of the awning behind the press box. Will stay at a full count here. Is getting a sweep against a team, is that any different than just, say, winning 2 games in a row between 2 different teams?
You know, I keep thinking about that because you keep saying sweep, and I'm used to a 3-game series, but I mean, any time that you can beat a team back-to-back, not give up a win. I mean, that's huge because, I mean, it's very encouraging to your team. You gain a little bit momentum as the season goes forth, especially as we head into, what many would consider a tougher series with the Rapids Rafters. And, I mean, it's good to grab both of them today. It's tough to win a doubleheader.
With that being said, it's not over here in Green Bay as Scott Gorsuch walks his second runner in a row, and Eric Gillenbach gets on over at first base now. And it walks in a run, so the score moves to 7-2. Pitching coach Chris Marstons, of course, celebrating his second anniversary with his wife, who sits over on the first base side, goes out to the mound and has a quick word with his pitcher here in Gorsuch. And so now the Dock Spiders trail by just 5. The new batter, Joe Bro, stands in, the center fielder. First pitch he sees runs low, 1-0. If you're Chris Ellensbest there, you come out, you've talked about this is an opportunity to give your guys some confidence with a large lead. What do you tell them?
I mean, you just got to tell them throw strikes. I mean, it's hard. It's harder than people think to hit a fastball. I mean, it really is. And so for you to just throw a fastball over the plate, especially with bases loaded like this, you want to get ahead in the count. See, now he's down 2-0, and he's got no other options but, just try to put something over the plate. When you get that first and, that second strike and you're up 0-1, 0-2 on a guy, I mean, it really just opens up your options for what you can do to him.
Bullfrogs lead 7-2 here, top of the ninth. 2-0 pitch swung on, and it's hit to Grant Frazier. He can't make the play that might have ended the game, but he does manage to pick it back up and toss it over to Aaron Pleschner at second to get the out at second. It's a chopping ground ball to Grant Frazier at second base. He grabs it in his glove. It looks like it might be an opportunity for a 4-6-3 double play, but he drops it, and he has the time to pick it up and just kind of shovel pass it over to Aaron Pleschner, who stomps on the bag for the force out at second. But a run does come across, and now there's 2 outs on the board and runners on the corners for the new batter, Chris Cornelius. So the Frogs get this second out. 1 out away from the victory. One-0 count now as the first one goes by low. 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on the corners. Scott Gorsuch trying to finish things off, and the runner over at first in Joe Bro will jog on over to second. Manages a stolen base. So a 2-0 count here, 2 outs on the board, 2 runners in scoring position. Dock Spiders don't want to go home empty-handed. The 2-0 pitch outside, and it gets away from Shoemaker. He picks it up, and it gets away from the pitcher Gorsuch, and a run comes across. They were going to easily get the out at home. That would have likely ended the game, but Shoemaker just does a little underhand toss because he doesn't think he's going to get there in time. I think the moment it left his hand, he realized the mistake, and it kind of dribbles into the infield grass, and a run comes across. So now the Dock Spiders trail by just 3 here in the top of the 9th inning. The Bullfrogs now lead 7-4 here in the top of the 9th with a runner at third in Joe Bro after the pass ball. 3-0 pitch is low. Ball 4, 2 runners on, and now the tying run comes up to the plate. A tough spot here for the Frogs, and it looked like it will be a pinch hitter situation as well. It'll be number 32 coming up to the plate for the Dock Spiders. In fact, it will be a pinch hitting situation, as it'll be, we'll find that as soon as we can. We'll tell you who it is, as there's going to be a new pitcher. Scott Gorsuch's day has come to a close as 3 runs have come across here in the top of the 9th inning. The Dock Spiders aren't done. Tying run coming up to the plate. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a brewpub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every brewpub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half-pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brewpub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
Tired of running to the bank for every little check? You can save a trip to the bank with the convenience of mobile check deposit from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. Snapping a picture with our app is as safe as depositing checks at one of our 7 locations. No more rushing to the bank before closing to make those important deposits. Visit snbt.com to enroll for mobile check deposit today. The Stevenson National Bank and Trust, 101 Bray Lake Way in O'Connell, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, here at Joanne Stadium. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrog.
Put in another guy. Just a random person? Yeah, dude, just put in 12. Let's see what he says.
Bound to get underway here with the top of the 9th inning. Or rather, we're here in the top of the 9th inning. The Bullfrogs lead the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 4-7. Runners on the corners. Runner off from first, and it's a line drive out into right field, and the game's over. Zach Rapinski makes the grab on the run, and the Bullfrogs beat the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 7-4. That'll do it here in the South Division of the Northwoods League as the Bullfrogs beat the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 7-4. The Bullfrogs managed 7 runs on 8 hits and 4 errors. And the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders would put up 4 runs on the board off of 11 hits and 1 error. They put 3 runs up on the board in the top of the 9th, but the Bullfrogs managed to get out of the bind. You're listening to 107.1 WOCO. Stay tuned for the postgame show right after this on the Bullfrogs Radio Network.
High school sports. I love the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Green Bay, Wisconsin here. Frogs win. They improve to 9-12 on the season and now on a 2-game winning streak after sweeping the doubleheader over the Dock Spiders 2-0. They will travel back here in Green Bay tomorrow to take on the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors for the first game of a 2-game home and away series. They'll be in Wisconsin Rapids on Thursday for the second game of that series. Bullfrogs, of course, improve now to 9-12. The Dock Spiders drop to 8-14. Your winning pitcher on the night for the Green Bay Bullfrogs will be Noah Miller. Your losing pitcher for the Dock Spiders will, of course, be as I pull up my notes here, Urigo. And, of course, a Bullfrog pitcher came in to get the save as well. The Bullfrogs managed 8 hits on 7 runs and 4 earned runs, and the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders managed 4 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors. The Bullfrogs would leave many of runners stranded throughout the contest. 2 in the 9th, or rather 2 in the 9th, 3 in the 8th, that's 5. In the 7th, 1, that's 6. In the 6th, 1, that's 7. In the 4th, 2 more, that's 9. 10 if you count the 3rd, 2 more in the 2nd, that's 12, and 1 back in the 1st. 13 runners left stranded throughout the contest. The Bullfrogs would get out of jams multiple times. We'll take a look at the box score for you real quick before we get the quick recap from Plunkett. Aaron Lewis managed a multi-hit day for the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, going 2 for 4. Neal would go 2 for 4 with a walk and a run. The pitching stats for the Dock Spiders. Collins came in and pitched a phenomenal day, 5 innings, allowing just 2 hits and 1 earned run and 8 strikeouts. Urigo would come in and get the loss. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowing 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. Purse would end the game. He would pitch 2 1/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, 1 earned run, would walk 3, and strike out 2. For the Bullfrogs, the only player to get, or rather 2 players got multi-hit days. Mikey Filio would go 2 for 3 with 2 runs, an RBI, and 2 walks. Aaron Pleshner would go 1 for 4 with a run. Troy Johnson would go 0 for 4, but managed 2 RBIs and a run. Tanner Poole would go 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Alex Pinner, he goes 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Rapinski, he goes 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Ben Hart, he goes 0 for 2 but manages a run and 2 walks. Zach Shoemaker, 1 for 4, and Grant Frazier goes 0 for 3 but does get on base with a walk. Your Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game, Noah Miller, pitches 7 innings, allowing 9 hits and just 1 earned run for a walk and 2 strikeouts. Gorsuch would come in and pitch an inning and 2/3, allowing 2 hits, 3 earned runs, and would walk 5 with no strikeouts. And a pitcher would come in to close things out for the Frogs and get the save in the top of the 5th inning. Zach Plunkett, the Bullfrogs, now on a 2-game winning streak after taking both games of the doubleheader against the Dock Spiders. They move into the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors tomorrow, and by they, I mean you, of course, the catcher for the Bullfrogs. What are the Bullfrogs going to have to do to keep this momentum going into a series against the best team in the league?
You know, you say they're the best team in the league, and, you know, obviously we played them already. We lost both games, but I think clearly we have a different team now. I mean, we've let go of some players and we've acquired some players, and I think we're playing differently. I mean, we've never really been a team to throw up a bunch of runs, but both times today, you know, we've backed our pitching, who's also done awesome. So, I mean, I think if that, you know, we just keep playing good baseball on both sides of the coin, I think we might be able to take a win or 2 away from the Rapids Rafters this week.
Awesome. Zach, it's been an absolute pleasure having you up here in the booth. Of course, helped out my vocal cords. You can imagine 18 innings of baseball is tough on the body for players. And, you know, give me a break. You know, I'm not an athlete. All I use is my vocal cords. But nonetheless, it's been a pleasure having you up here. I enjoy the color commentary. Thanks for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure calling Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball. Thanks for lending your ears. Bullfrogs win. You've been listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on Bullfrogs Radio Network. Till next time.
That has been Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WLCO Stereo FM. Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Saskatchewan, and Anderson, the NAW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and Wiz Piggly Wiggly. Also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing. Stay tuned for more Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on 107.1 WOCO Stereo FM. Have a great day.